Good evening and welcome to day 2 here at the 93rd Australian Athletics Championships, live at the scene of the Brisbane 1982 Commonwealth Games. That's right, it's QE2 Stadium, and I tell you what, boys, it's a little bit windy here tonight, but it's going to be an absolute belter.
Yeah, we're here for the national champs. You can do qualifiers anywhere you want, but this is the only place you can be the Australian champion. Who's going to stand up and who's going to crumble like a biscuit?
Well, we know someone who's going to stand up tonight. That's right, it is your host in the commentary position. It will be Ollie. What's caught your eye, mate?
Mossy, going to be a great night of athletics. I think the men's and women's 100-metre heats going to be a cracker. We've got Breen and Pearson going to head-to-head once again. Also, Ash Whitaker, one to watch. Men's 100 metres, Josh Clark's had a great season. Can he put a big one out in the heats, or will he save it for the final? Also, the men's long jump qualifying. Fabrice Lapierre, a late withdrawal. So leaves it to the likes of Henry Frayne, Robbie Crowther and Angus Gould, who took them all in Melbourne. So I'm really looking forward to the night's athletics and, of course, the next few days.
Well, that's what Ollie's looking forward to tonight. What about you, Lynchy?
Oh, well, we've got the women's 800. We've got Brittany McGowan. Can she do it again? In the men's 1500-metre heats, Risley versus Gregson, and the men's 400-metre semis. 3 semis, only 8 lanes in the final. It's going to be pretty cutthroat.
And let's not forget out here tonight, boys, the final of the women's hammer throw. Will it be Lara Nelson or will it be Alex Hulley? That promises to be a good one. I'll tell you what, you guys, you've got the best seat in the house. Stick around, it's going to be a belter.
It's all right, we'll leave. Yes, well, here we are. You can see across what a magical stadium is here at QE2 for day 2 of the 93rd Australian Athletics Championships. You can see the infield looking an absolute treat. We've got plenty of events coming up tonight, and it's going to be an absolute belter. And I tell you what, joining us tonight, expert commentary, is none other than Olympian. She's a former world cross-country champion. She holds the Australian records. Let's go this. 2,000, 3,000, 5, 10 and marathon. It is, of course, the legendary Benita Willis. Welcome aboard.
Hey, how you going?
Awesome. It's great to have you back, B. Tonight we've got some of the distances, the 800s and the men's 1,500 heats as well. I'm sure you've got a few friends out there and looking forward to seeing how the girls go and boys.
Yeah, I've got quite a few friends running tonight. And it'll be really good to see how they go, because with these middle distance races, you can't just, relax around in the heats and expect to make the final. So you've really got to put it on the line in the heats. So it's going to be interesting to watch some of the better people in the 800 with the girls, like the tactics they use, and also the guys in the 1,500 and watch them progress. And
looking out here, obviously, all the people that have turned up today, the audience are over here in the grandstand that we're in, fairly bare out there, but you've run here before, haven't you?
Yeah, I quite like this track. This was the first red track I ever ran on. So, yeah, growing up in Mackay, we only ever ran on grass tracks. So when I was 10, I made the Mackay team and came here for state titles, and Mum brought me here because she thought I'd never make the Mackay team again. And I came second in the 800, and then... Yeah, I've run a state junior record 2:08 when I was 15 on this track. But yeah, when I was 10, I ran on this track in bare feet. So everyone thought that was pretty rough, I guess.
And I tell you what, yeah, fairly rough indeed. I know what it's like coming from the country when we did our little athletics. I'll talk about that in a moment. But we're just going to go over to Ollie Worm for the looks like the men's under 20s 400 metres.
Yes, thanks, mate. We've got the end of the decathlon coming up, so the 5th event of the day, and this is for the under 20 men. So we've got our competitors out there. It's Will North in 2, Blake Priest in 3, Josh Kelly in 4, Aaron Booth in lane 5, Cam Rudge in lane 6, Lewis Kane in lane 7, and William Seaton in lane 8 from Victoria. So they're our competitors, and this is the first event we bring you from today's action. You can see on the screen that start list. And great to have Benita Willis in the commentary box with us and getting her expert commentary, and particularly on the distance events come up shortly, particularly the women's 800-metre heats. It's going to be pretty cutthroat, and as Benita has mentioned earlier, it's going to be pretty... No one can be switching off. You can't afford to be playing games.
Yeah, for sure. And I've seen a lot of Olympics and World Championships where, people have switched off in the heats and haven't even progressed to the semis. And there's no semi-finals here, so they've got to run really well in the heats today to get through the final.
Spot on, Benita. And no doubt you've been through the rounds at championships, so you know how to get the best out of yourself and secure your spot in the final. So let's see how those girls go this evening. But next event on the track, as mentioned, the decathlon, the 5th event for these under 20 men. And we're in the starters' hands for our first track event of the live stream of the 93rd Australian Athletics Championships. So away in this 400 metres. And the New Zealander, Aaron Booth's off to a good start. He comes out of lane 5 and they head into the back straight. The South Australian, Cam Rudge, is running well. So New Zealander, Aaron Booth, opens up down the back straight. The Victorian on the inside, Blake Price, is also making his move. And the Queenslander, Josh Kelly's right up there as they go through 200 metres. New Zealander looking pretty comfortable out in front. The Queenslander on the inside, Josh Kelly, starts to make his move. And Price on the inside now starting to get going. Will North from New South Wales also in contention as they come up to the 300 metre mark of the race. The Victorian, Blake Price on the inside, trying to battle out with a New Zealander, Aaron Booth, who really looks like he's starting to lengthen. Less than 50 metres to go. The New Zealander is in the lead. Aaron Booth, the Victorian, is going to take second. And on the outside, coming home well, Cam Rudge, 51-51 unofficially for our visitor from New Zealand, Aaron Booth.
Yes, great call, Ollie, there. And plenty of action still to come up. After this one, we do have what will be one of the feature events of this evening. It is the first round of the women's 800 metres. So you can see there, Booth, after his 400, just buckling over. It's 5 events gone there for the boys. And yes, we saw the last event. The boys were very, very tired, so they've still got a little bit to go. And yes, the 800 metres, the girls will be in the call room, about to come out now, Benita, and been keeping an eye on the tour. Who do you think's looking pretty good in the women's 8?
Well, I mean, you've got to say that Brittany McGowan's been very dominant. She's won all the races pretty much on the tour. And being a Queenslander, she's got home crowd advantage, and I think it's going to be very hard to beat her. But you know, there's other girls there in contention. Kelly Hetherington, Selma as well. She's been running really well. I know she's really fit. So there's quite a few up there, and it's going to be quite close, I think, in the final.
Absolutely, and it's just been a sensational season so far for Brittany McGowan, as you said, but there's plenty of other contenders there, so we'll get a little bit of a sneaky peek to see where they're at so far in their form for the 93rd Australian Athletics Championship. You can see the girls coming out now, and a few of the contenders there, Webber and Brady. Of course, a lot of these girls we haven't seen a lot of. Georgia Wassell in the background. She had a stellar season last year, some would say a breakout season, and haven't seen a lot from her this year, but that's what could happen come nationals. You can find some people you haven't seen for a while, and boom, they come and take the biscuits.
Yeah, and certainly athletes like Georgia, she's shown that she can compete really well in these big races, and you know, she might have had a bit of an up and down time recently. I haven't seen much of her lately, but she could come out and run really well. She's very, very good at competing.
It's one of the things that Tamsin talked about last year when she came on board as a commentator as well, had mentioned that, you know, someone like Georgia last year probably wasn't used to championship racing, you know, that you're exposed to in Europe where there's a little bit of push and shove, and, you know, now she's exposed to that. I guess that now, you know, may give her a bit of confidence and not such a shock, which can happen at times. Can you remember your first sort of taste of championship racing and what it was like?
Yeah, well, my first big championship was Sydney Olympics.
That's pretty big.
Yeah, and I was freaking out big time. But yeah, no, I was really nervous. Even just going into the core room, I remember just watching I raced Sonia O'Sullivan in my heat at Sydney Olympics, and I just remember watching her put on racing flats, and I'm thinking, wow, I need to put on spikes. I need every advantage here. And I just thought she must be awesome if she's just wearing racing flats in the heat. And just little things like that you always remember. Yeah.
Of course, Sonia O'Sullivan residing in Melbourne, wife of Nick Beddoe. That would be a little bit weird. It's one of the legends winning a silver medal there in Sydney. Ollie, you've got a little something to add in there?
No, not at all. Not at all. I don't think it'd be that weird if a man and man were together, but...
No. Anyway.
No, it's a lot of good athletes here, and you can see a lot of the past greats are here as well throughout the tour, and of course the championships today. And yeah, we can see more of the 800 metre women coming out. Catherine Katz-Navakos, she's one who's always amongst it, and also Abby Delamotte, she's one really on the rise. I've been quite impressed with her throughout the season and think she's going to be top 3 contender in the women's 800 metres.
Well, that finish up here on the other track, the warm-up track for the Queensland state titles as well as the Queensland Track Classic, was an absolute belter. She only needed a couple more metres. She sort of come from absolutely nowhere.
Yeah, she's been finishing her races real well and stepping up from that 400 metres to 800 metres. So obviously got a bit of that 400 metre speed, and no doubt she's been working on her aerobic capacity as well to make sure she can finish her races, that last 100 metres, because we do see some 4 runners stepping up to 800, particularly at the moment Annalise Ruby. She seems to have made quite a successful step. I think 4th or 5th she finished in Sydney and right in contention. So give her another season of 800 metre racing. She'll take the next step.
We saw that with Josh Ralph last year. That was a breakout season for him, stepping up from the 4 to the 8th. National champion, went to the Commonwealth Games as well. And it's definitely a nice little progression that can happen there, B.
Yeah, I mean, and you certainly see it with a lot of these girls. And what I'm looking forward to is, if Tamsin just keeps improving and comes back into the 8 when, because I know she's really fit, and we saw her in the 400 in Melbourne, but I'd love her to be racing all these girls as well.
Yeah, well, she would love to be. She was a little bit disappointed with the time that she ran. She felt she was in a bit better shape, but I tell you what, once she gets back into action, we all love Tamsin for what she's achieved, but for her to now come out, post childbirth and then to compete with these younger girls will be absolutely sensational. We know you'll be listening and watching back home there, Tamsin. Big shout out to you. We look forward to seeing you continue to come back into the fold. We see the first heat of the women's 800 metres. We haven't got a start list yet, but you'd have to think that those 2 girls, pretty much centre of screen there, Britt McGowan and Georgia Wassell, will be favourites.
Yeah, I've seen Brittany get in front a lot in a lot of these Grand Prix races, and no one's been able to pass her. So it'll be interesting to see if she runs a heat this way as well.
I think there's a few athletes in contention here. A couple of Victorians as well.
Of course there'll be a couple of Victorians.
Rosie Kelly on the outside. She'll probably set a good pace. She's a runner who can run a good 400 as well. Cara Peak as well. And McGowan's had a great season, a bit of a breakthrough season for her, taking that next step in terms of just winning race after race and being very competitive. And once again, I think she'll be another one who's a very likely medal chance in the final if she continues her tour form. What sort of times are you predicting for the heats, Benita?
I'm thinking 2:04.
Yeah.
I think it'll be fairly quick, but not smashing pace. But I know these girls would love a race that goes through very quick under 58, because I think that's a good way of running a fast time. But it's not going to be this heat. It'll be, hopefully, may not be the final, but I think that's the best way. And a lot of their races this season have been a bit slow at the start.
Yeah, we might just bring in the man trackside. Lynchy, we've kind of left you out so far, mate. How's things down there close to the action?
Nah, it's good to be down here, guys. It's a little bit windy, you might find down here. It's a little bit blustery, but I think we might find whoever gets out in the front, they're going to really control the race and might even be able to grab a chat with all the heat winners straight off the track, because we're at prime position down here. As you can see on the board, that is the start list for Heat 1 of the women's 800 metres. 3 heats. So it looks like it could be first 2 over the line as the automatic qualifiers. What do you think up there, boys?
Well, it looks like it's going to be pretty competitive early on. I think McGowan looks like the real one to beat in this first heat. And, I think these girls, they've really got to put in a pretty good performance. Ideally, leave a touch less in that last 20 metres. Hopefully one of them can switch off. But they're going to have to work hard. There'll be no one getting through too easily, and all these girls look pretty hungry. And start list, we've got Jenny Hawke, New Zealander, in lane 1. Connor Gist, Victoria. Rosie Webber in 3. Cara Peak. Kelly Waters in 5. Brittany McGowan in 6. Georgia Wassell in 7. Tia Brady in 8. Kim Hallows in 9. Caitlin Murdoch in 10. And Rosie Kelly on the outside. And you can see the field getting away. And the New Zealand visitor on the inside. Jenny Hawke is going to lead the field down the back straight. On the outside of her, Connor Gist looks like she's running a good race, and the athletes are just trying to settle them as they head down the back straight. So as they go through 200, it's our international visitor, the New Zealander, making her way to the lead. Cara Peak sits nicely in second. There we see Brittany McGowan, the local Queensland athlete. She makes her way into second, poised to finish well, and she'll be right in contention towards the finish of the race. Georgia Wassell's getting a wide run, and she's in about third position. So around 500 metres to go, and it's New Zealander in the lead. McGowan looking very solid in second. Peak is in third. Wassell is in fourth. Connor Gist, the Victorian, sitting in fifth. On the outside of her, Tia Brady sits in 6th. As they go through 400 metres, the pace isn't on. About 63.40 they go through 400 metres. So they're going to have a bit up their sleeve, and it could come down to a bit of a sprint finish with around 350 metres to go. Still the New Zealander in the lead, and you can just see McGowan starting to go onto the shoulder of the New Zealander and the head down the back straight. Georgia Wassell makes her way into second place as McGowan leads the field with around 250 metres to go. McGowan looking very comfortable. Wassell is in second. Jenny Hawke is in third. Cara Peake making her way into third position. Less than 200 metres to go. McGowan gets to the lead, and she'll be looking to hold on from here. Just behind her, Georgia Wassell trying to hold her form. Cara Peake is in third, and in fourth is the New Zealander. So these look like the ones who are going to battle it out in our first heat of the women's 800 metres. McGowan looking very strong in the front, in the lead. Cara Peake, the Victorian, she's battling it out with the New Zealander. But Brittany McGowan, she'll take out our first heat of the women's 800 metres. The New Zealander, Jenny Hawke, will take, and Peake will take third. 2:08.95 unofficially in our first heat of the women's 800 metres. Bonita, what did you make of the first heat of the 800 metres?
I mean, Brittany was completely dominant, and you know, great run from her to win that heat, but it was very slow. So we're looking at the first two in each heat go through automatically in the next two fastest times. So, you know, it's going to be very unlikely now that the third person in that heat would go through. So it really, you know, probably came down to who could sprint the last 200 the fastest. And I think in these next few heats, they've got to look at that finishing time and think, okay, if we want to get 4 people through from our heat, we need to make the first lap faster. But very dominant by Brittany, and you know, I was mainly just watching her. I think she ran really well. And
I've got Lynchy down at the finish line with a special guest. Lynchy, who have you got for us, mate?
Straight off the track, Brittany McGowan, winner of Heat 1. How's that?
Yeah, it's pretty good. It's a bit windy out there, but easy through to the heat, so looking forward to the final on Sunday.
So what have you got next? What are you going to do? Go for a warm down? When's the final?
The final is, 2:30 on Sunday, I think, yeah. Warm down, a bit of ice, a bit of R&R tomorrow, and then out for the final.
Excellent. Good luck, Brittany McGowan.
Yes, and we can see there, this is the second heat of the women's 800 metres, as we've mentioned there. The top 2 to go through and the next 2 fastest times. And it was a real slow race, the last one. Typical championship racing, but a couple of those girls hoping to be pulled along by the trainer, the quicker girls, may find themselves not there come the finals.
And these heats have got a lot of people in them. I mean, that last heat had 11 girls, so a few lanes had 2 girls in the first. You know, in the start there, so it just shows that they're very competitive with 3 heats. They could almost have semis, so it's tough to get through.
So here's the start lineup for this second women's 800 metre open heat. Sealy, McCormick, Brown, Kerr, Kayan, Hetherington. And as always, as we're halfway through, we've got Buckley, Isabella Scott, Campbell, Haig, and the final girl, Harding Deleuze, that's right. Thanks very much, Lynchy, injecting the play down on the sideline, as we expect. Unfortunately, Dave Robbo is not here. We can put the good news out, a healthy baby girl. Emma Josephine Robertson, born this afternoon, 3.5 kilos. Mum doing well, as Robbo says, smashing it. She absolutely smashed it, which is fantastic. Congratulations to both Robbo and his wife, Gabby, and the whole of the Robertson clan, and the Lairds as well. Here we go. Second heat of the women's 800 metres, Ollie.
Yes, mate, and congrats to Robbo. So away in this second heat of the 800 metres, 2:08.95 in the approximately in the first heat. So no doubt these girls will be looking to go quicker. And you see the athletes go down the back straight. Selma Karjan looks to have made her way to the lead. On the inside of her, Alicia Kerr from New South Wales running well. Georgie Buckley's up on the outside, and Kelly Hetherington, another Victorian, is well positioned as they go through the 200 metres. Pretty packed in those first 3, and Selma Karjan is going to lead them through in this second heat of the women's 800 metres. Once again, the pace doesn't look too hot here, but as we saw from the first heat, generally they're going at this stage going through a bit slower. So those who win their heats are relying to get through as a place getter, but those around that will really trying to get through based on time. So Selma Karjan and Hetherington out in front. Georgie Buckley from the Doncaster Athletic Club running well. She sits in third, and in fourth, Alicia Kerr as they go through the 400 metres. 62.05 is the 400 metre split. Selma Kayan running well, and with about 350 metres to go, looks like her and Kelly Hetherington will really battle this one out as they go through and head down the back straight. Georgie Buckley sits nicely in third. Alicia Kerr is in fourth, and they look like the four who are going to battle out this finish in the second heat of the women's 800 metres. Less than 250 metres to go. Selma Kayan is still the leader, with Kelly Hetherington moving well on her shoulder. Buckley still in third, and Kerr is in fourth. They make their way around the pole vault bend with 150 metres to go. It's still Selma Kayan in the lead. She's been competitive all our tour meets, and she looks like she's in pretty good form as they come into the home straight of the second heat of the women's 800 metres. Selma Kayan in the lead. Alicia Kerr from New South Wales trying to challenge Kelly Hetherington here, and Georgie Buckley sits nicely in fourth. Alicia Kerr from New South Wales goes into second, and our winner of the second heat, Selma Kayan, 2:05.28 unofficially. The winner, Alicia Kerr, was in second. Kelly Hetherington took fourth. And in fourth place was Georgie Buckley of Victoria, Mossy and Benita.
Well, interesting there, B. Kelly Hetherington thought she might have just called the Jets taking it easy, but it looks like she struggled a little bit there in the final 100 metres.
Yeah, she was definitely struggling a bit because if you want to get through on the, automatically, you've got to be in the top two. So I was a bit surprised, but I know Selma's in very good shape. She trains with Nick Bordeaux with that group in Melbourne, and I know she's ready for this national championship, so she's going to have a real go at the title here against these top girls on Sunday. But yeah, it was a really good performance by Selma, and I think she's going to be hard to beat. Good.
Yes, you can see Kelly Hetherington there and Kerr just going off screen. And we'll hopefully get a chat with Selma. I think she's trying his best. I suggest he's going to have to try harder than that. Robbo would have them there right now in a headlock, microphone in hand. And yes, here we go. He's going to get. You can see Lynchy go across the bottom of the screen there. Might have to catch them afterwards because we have the third heat of the women's 800 metres. It's the final heat here. And the starting lineup: Lucinda Buckley, Maudie Skring, Paula Lonchamp, Kate Borrell, Catherine Katsanavakis, Anna Saw, Emily Ryan, Abby De La Motte, Donna Coniel and Megan Smith from Queensland in lane 10.
Thanks, Mossy. And the third and final heat. So we've had a couple of differently run races. First heat was very slowly run. 2:08 was the winning time for that, and then we just saw that one, 2:04. So the third heat, they know what is ahead of them, and we really want to see these girls ideally cracking under that 2:04 barrier, and then if those in third and fourth can rely on times to get through, they know that they've run a fastly contested race. So the athletes are in the starters' hands, and third and final heat, and they're away in this 800 metres. In the lanes to watch here, Katsanavakis coming out of lane 5 and De La Motte lane 8, and we've got a special guest with Lynchy down trackside.
Yeah, we're here with Selma Kayan, who took out the second heat. Talk us through it.
Yeah, I mean, it's the heat, so just want to kind of feel good and feel strong leading into the final on Sunday, just after an automatic qualifier, really. So, yeah, I was quite happy with that. Yeah, a bit faster than the first heat, but good.
And what's the plan from now on between now and the final?
Not much, just relax, kind of. Try not to stress out about it too much. Yeah, do as little as possible, feel good and fresh on Sunday and get ready to roll.
Excellent, good luck. Selma, back up to you, Ollie. Call the girls through.
Thanks, Lynchy. And looking good out in front is Catherine Katsanavakis, and Abby De La Motte is well positioned. She's had a great tour, and I think she'll be very prominent in the make her way past this heat as the athletes go through the 400 metres. They get the bell, and 62-33 is the split. Sitting in third place is the Queenslander, Kate Borrell. And those three out in front look like they're the ones who are going to challenge in the third and final heat of the women's 800 metres. Kasnavakos making a bold move and heads down the back straight. And less than 300 metres to go, she leads Delamotte, with Worrell in third spot. Sitting in fourth, Emily Ryan from New South Wales, and in fifth, just behind her, is Donna Coniel. So around 200 metres to go. Catherine Kasnavakos has dictated the pace all the way through this 800 metres, and she's looking impressive out in front. Delamotte's just poised, and we've seen her finishing very well in these 800 metre races throughout the championships and also throughout the tour, should I say. So around 100 metres to go in this 800 metres, and looking good out in front. It's Catherine Kasnavakos, Delamotte trying to challenge her, and these two look like they may nail down a spot in the final of the women's 800 metres. These two well out in front. Sitting in third is Worrell, but no doubt about our winner, Catherine Kasnavakos, Abby Delamotte just behind her. 2:07.15, the unofficial winning time for Catherine Kasnavakos of Victoria. And that concludes our heats of the women's 800 metres. Mossy and Benita, what did you make of the heats?
Oh, well, I think the second heat, I think they were very smart because that was a fast race, that second heat, and I reckon there's going to be 4 go through from that heat, but we're going to have to look at all the splits there. But Kate Borrell's one of my mates, actually, and she ran really well then, but she was third in that heat, so I don't know about that, but I think Catherine looked awesome. I think she just switched off, and I think she's going to be really good in the final too, both of them.
So if you look across the 3 races there, who's your pick?
I'm going with probably. I think it's going to be between Brittany and Selma.
Yep.
They're my top 2. I mean, I think it's going to be a bit of an upset if Brittany gets beaten, but you know it always happens in championships. But I think those 2 are going to be my first and second. I'm not really sure which order, but I think Selma can win.
Yeah, that's a good thing, isn't it?
Yep.
And Selma's boyfriend, Collis Birmingham, will be here racing as well. He's doing the 1,500 metres, which is coming up very shortly. But, yeah, will be interesting. And I'm not going to rule out Abby Delamotte as well. And down track side, we have Matt Lynch with the winner of that third 800-metre heat is Catherine Kasnavakos.
Thank you, guys. Catherine, how was that heat? You got through first automatic qualifier?
The conditions were pretty tough. Felt like a headwind the whole way.
So, final tomorrow, how do you feel? You feel like you're good in shape? Get up there for a medal, maybe the win?
You know, I just want to try and run the best possible race I can, and you know, I'm training well at the moment, so yeah, hopefully I'll just have a good run.
Excellent, thank you, Catherine, and back up to you guys in the box.
Yes, g'day, thank you very much, Lynchy, doing a fantastic job down there. I'll tell you what, we gave Lynchy one job, didn't we, Ollie? What was that one job we gave to Lynchy?
Hold his mic close.
Keep his headphones on.
Keep his headphones
just put
on.
The headphones back on. Well done, Lynchy. Congratulations, mate.
It's great. We've got a good little crew here. It's been a great tour, and this is the final of our tour, I guess. We've been all over Australia.
Don't start me, Ollie. I'll start to tear up, mate.
I know, mate. We're rooming together once again, Mossy, but it's been a great little tour, and we've met some great people throughout this tour, and let's hope we can see some great performances culminating here in the Australian Championships, and as many picked in that national team for Beijing.
Absolutely, and we'll go through a few of those as we go through the commentary, and I can tell you, if you're a women's 800-metre fan, then 2:18 on Sunday is the time to be. So 2:18 Sunday, but why don't you stick around, because we've got plenty of action coming up today. The next races on the track, we have the 1,500-metre ambulant final for the women's, and after that at 5 p.m. it's the men's 1,500 metres, the first round, and looking forward to that, because my prediction this meet is that Jeff Risley's going to do the 8:15 double. First time in 24 years that's done.
I don't know.
Since Simon Doyle, yeah. Well, Ryan Gregson will have something to say about that.
And Alex Rowe.
Yeah. No, mate, I'm there. I hear you, but it's just my prediction.
That's why they pay the big bucks, mate, to make the big calls.
Absolutely. Massive bucks for me.
Yeah, we might be just wearing a hoodie in the after party, so
I lost my hoodie.
I
lost my hoodie. There we go. This is Benita Willis. Look at this champion here with us. And up here, and just in front of us, you couldn't get her on the screen there, but is our 200-metre national record holder, Melinda Gainsford-Taylor, as well.
And just spotted down there some long jumpers, which means Henry the Frane's not too far away. Looking forward to seeing that man jump. Robbie Crowther as well. Looks like he's getting run up sorted. Unfortunately, Fabrice Lapierre won't be jumping this evening, which is disappointing. So he's withdrawn from the championships. But Angus Gould, he's a real... around the money for a while. He's sort of been a 760, 765 jumper, and he's taken that next step and jumped 787 to take down Henry Frey and Robbie Crowther in Melbourne. So look for Angus Gould to be challenging in the final, and it's just starting to heat up here on the Friday evening, day 2 of the 93rd Australian Athletics Championships, and we've got plenty of track action ahead of us and also plenty of field action coming up. So make sure you're all stacked up in the kitchen for this evening, got everything you need, food and drink, got a nice comfy seat, and enjoy the live stream, whether it be on your own or with your loved one.
There you can just see on the scoreboard there the men's long jump, the competitors there, and the pick of the men's long jump, of course, will be, you'd have to say Henry Frayne will be the leading contender. Robbie Crowther, he's my man. I'm on Duke.
Yeah, well,
definitely.
I used to live with Big Jug, so he's just warming up there. So actually, for those at home, there are 2 groups of qualifying in the men's long jump. So the first group down there warming up now. So Henry Frayne's actually in the second group of qualifying athletes. And the first group, you've got athletes Robbie Crowther, Tim Maguire.
And you've got the Stratton family have turned up as well. They're everywhere, eh?
Brooke Stratton, what a season she's had. What a comeback from injury.
There you go. You can see Brooke there.
Yeah, she's jumping well.
Gives away, Brooke. Gives away. There we go. Perfect. Yep. Excellent. The princess of the pit.
Yeah, Brooke Stratton. I actually remember when I was competing, when I just finishing school, I remember seeing Brooke. She went to Caulfield Grammar, and she was this... I think she won about 8 events on the APS finals day, the 1 to 400 metres to hurdles, long triple high jump, and I thought this girl's going to be pretty good, and here we are a few years later. I was in school a long time ago, but she's killing it in the long jump. Over 6 metres 70 this season, and no doubt she's in good form, ready to maybe even jump bigger this evening in this championship. So
yeah, I think Brisbane's a bit hot and humid for distance running, but I reckon for long jump, it's pretty good conditions.
Yeah, it's pretty good. I think they're going the right direction with the wind, the boys can't complain about that. And yeah, look, I think they'll be wanting to get a good jump out, get the automatic qualifying mark, and take their place in the final. And that takes place, I think it's tomorrow. So a lot of these field events where they do have a qualifying mark, a lot of the better athletes want to just have one jump, feel good out there, and then pop one out, rest up for the finals. So much like in the distance events, if you know you are, you've got a good time and you're competitive, you want to make it as easy as possible to get through the heats without being too smart and potentially missing the final, because it has happened to athletes. I'm sure you've been around the traps for a while, Bonita, but you got any tales of athletes being a bit too smart and playing the game too much and missing the finals?
Oh, I haven't heard of any distance runners doing that, but I've heard of them missing flights, say from London back to Melbourne. They've slept at Singapore airport and missed the flight going back.
Oh dear, there you go.
But I think distance runners are probably just tired all the time, but they don't usually miss the finals. But yeah, no, I think it's
And just seeing lining up here is the next event on the schedule. It's the women's 1,500 metre ambulant final. So this is the first final that we'll be showing today. You can see there Burt, Collie, Newcomb, Ewanoxco and Papworth. I hope I got that one right.
Papworth?
No, number 4. Have a crack. What do you reckon?
Number 4. Ewanoxco.
Not even close, Ollie.
Yeah, what do you reckon? You'd have it down there, Lynchy?
Surely it's Ewanoxco.
Let's go. Well, that's nice. And what about you, B?
I reckon, Ewanoxco.
Chloe.
Ewanoxco.
Just call her Chloe.
Oh, it's Chloe, is it? Yeah, Ewanoxco. And big shout out to the whole family out there. You'll be tuning in here.
To the Ewanoxcos watching at home.
And of course, plenty of action still to come up. Plenty of finals in the field tonight as well. Got the coming up later. No, it's not. You've got the women's Hammond throw, which is coming up at for our para-athletes, 400-metre wheelchair events, and the ambulant 400 as well. Here we go, Ollie.
And they're away in this 1,500 metres, the ambulance events. They've got 5 starters, and we went through their names earlier. I don't want to have another crack at that name. I'll leave that one to Matt Lynch, who is the king of pronouncing complex names.
We say Chloe.
We say Chloe. We've got some of the Fijian athletes running this weekend, but looking good out in front is Christy Newcomb. So she's one of the Victorian athletes. No surprise to see a Victorian out in front. But these girls, 1,500 metres they've got to battle. And Bonita, give us a bit of insight on what these girls will be thinking at this stage of the race.
Well, I think the wind's a little bit swirly, so certainly, you know, it'd be to all of their advantages if they were running in a pack, but it seems to be a bit strung out, so just shows that the race has gone out fairly fast. Yeah, no, it's easier to work in together for the first few laps in these kind of races, but these girls seem to be running their own race, and often you've got to run to, you know, some people in the 1,500s you'll see, and even in this race, they might be sprinters, so they might want to just sit back and really kick home in the last 200, whereas other people will be just like grinders, so to speak. So they just kind of go at the same pace the whole way. So, and you see it doesn't really matter what level and what age people are. You always see that they should run to their strengths. Yeah.
No doubt about it. So in the back straight, got a bit of a tussle out in front. Caitlin Papworth. She has made her way to... Well, she's in second now, and a bit of a change in front. Alicia Burt gets the lead. So Burt and Papworth out in front. They're the two who have got to the front. A bit of swapping and changing early on this 1,500 metres. And important to note, in this ambulant event, a lot of the athletes have different disabilities, and the field is strung out. So no matter, someone may cross the finish line in first, but they may not be crowned the winner as such because of the different classes the athletes. So we'll ideally bring you the results as soon as possible, as we know, or you can check the Athletics Australia live results. They'll be posted as soon as possible. But Alicia Burt out in front from Victoria. She's actually extended her lead over Caitlin Papworth. Sitting in third is Christy Newcomb. And behind her, it's Tamsin Colley and also the New South Welsh woman, Chloe, I'm just going to call her. So the girls are about to come through, and still in the lead is Burt, and she's got 2 laps to go as the clock ticks over around 2:38. And no doubt soon after this, I think a lot of the crowd looking forward to seeing the men's 1,500 metres, and there's going to be some... I can see some athletes playing some games, some celebrations. Ryan Gregson, every race he does, he's got a new celebration.
Yeah, he is. Yeah, he's a showman, but he's great for the sport. And you know, I'm pretty good friends with Ryan, and yeah. I know how he competes, and he's very serious when he competes. But he's also very good to involve the crowd and for people to want to watch. And even when he races overseas at the meets over there, and especially in America at the Nike Classics and stuff like that, the Americans love it. And I know they used to like Craig Mottram, and he was the same, very serious when he was competing, but he was a real someone that people would come to watch because he was a bit of a showman, and both very good athletes. And it's going to be great to see Ryan run here, as Jeff Risley as well, and Jeff's another one that's is a really good competitor, and I love seeing those guys race.
Yeah, no doubt about it. Ryan Gregson, he is a showman, but he also delivers the good. Of course, the goods. Of course, our greatest 1,500 metre runner of all time. So,
and of course, he's from New South Wales.
He's from New South Wales, but when you're that good, and you can do whatever you want, because Ryan Gregson.
I love when they do that. I think the show's good.
Oh, of course, mate. We need more of the showmen. People like John Stephenson in the sport, Ryan Gregson. You saw Brett Robinson crossing the line last week with his own little just stopped, cross the arm straight away. I've won this. So, look, we can certainly encourage it. As long as they keep delivering the goods, it's great for the sport. And we look back to the action. You can see Alicia Burt. She's about to get the bell in this 1,500 metres. And she's got around 390 metres to go in this 1,500 metres, and let's hope we can see some personal bests for these women. Sitting in second, it's Christy Newcomb from Victoria. She's made her way into second. Caitlin Papworth sits in third. In fourth, it's Chloe from New South Wales. And in fifth, it's Tamsin Colley from New South Wales. So we've got 3 Victorians, 2 New South Wales athletes battling it out, and our leader, Alicia Burt's got less than 300 metres to go. Bonita, you run many 1,500 metres?
Yeah, I have actually. That was actually my event that I was trying to qualify for Sydney Olympics, and I got 4th in the trial. So, apart from thinking about jumping off the bridge, I decided to just enter the 5K, and I won the 5K. So, I used to be a 1500 runner, but you see here, Alicia, she's extending her lead, and we don't really know, given their categories, who's the actual winner, but I think she's running really well, and if you can extend your lead and be running faster in the last lap in a 15, you're a good athlete, and you're showing that you're really pacing it well as well. So I think she's doing really well, and she's holding on very strongly here for the win.
Yep, and just quickly, you run many 800s?
Yeah, I run quite a few 800s, yeah.
What's PB?
205.
205.
Yeah.
There you go.
Not,
impressive athlete.
It's all right, yeah. Run a lot of those short distance. I used to think 800 was long when I was 400? Young. I've done 56.
800 was mega when you're in Little Athletics.
I thought 800 was like a 10K race.
And Alicia Burt just finishing off here. Great run from her in the 1500 metres. Clock's just ticking over 6 minutes, and the unofficial time, 6:01.81. The winner, Alicia Burt from Victoria. In second is going to be Christy Newcomb from Victoria, and in third, Caitlin Papworth, also from Victoria. So great battle on her hands there. Great to see that unfold, and we heard then from Bonita, she can run most distances, 400 above. Probably not a good 200, I can't imagine.
Oh, no, she's a brilliant 200
Brilliant 200 runner.
No, that's for sure.
Well, actually, I competed at triple jump at state titles. When
she's a triple jumper.
At high school, yeah.
You can do it all.
I was actually loving triple jump on the tartan, because we only ever got to do it on grass triple jump runways, so probably wouldn't get that in New South Wales and Victoria. Us Queenslanders, we're a bit rougher. So.
Absolutely, we know that, that's for sure. Of course, the girls, although they came across in certain order, we don't know. Unfortunately, we don't have that on hand. Who actually will be the winner there of the women's 800-metre, 1500-metre ambulant, rather. And I'm starting to get a little bit excited, guys, because the next event on the schedule is the men's 1500-metre heats. Round one, rather, for the men's 1500 metres, and the boys are making their way onto the track now. And this one, I guess we'll get our first look at. I'm interested in Collis's inclusion, 1500 metres. Bonita, do you think he's coming down for a bit of for serious, or do you think he's maybe going to try to pull Ryan around, being both members of the Melbourne Track Club?
Well, I mean, Collis had an injury and he hasn't raced all season, so I think Collis is just using this to have a bit of a race and see how it can go against these guys. But as everyone knows, with 1500 metres, you need a lot of races to get very good at the 1500. And Collis is just a competitor, and he's obviously in good enough shape to be here to race. But when you do your first race, it blows out a few cobwebs and it just makes your training and your next races go better. And I know Collis is going over to America soon to train, over to Laguna Mountain. So he's come here to have a bit of a hard hit out. He's not in World Cross, so he may as well have a go. And I like seeing people do that when they're maybe not in their best shape, but they're willing to come and have a crack. And he's going to have a crack at these guys. And a lot of them have had obviously much better preparations, and they've been running all the races in the Grand Prix series. But I know Collis very well, and I'm pleased he's here because I had no idea that he'd be here, and it's not even his. He's better at 5K, 10K, especially the 10K. So it's going to be interesting to see how he goes, and he might go hard from the start. That's his best way probably of running, given he's coming off an injury. So that'll just throw a bit of a spanner in the works for these fast guys too.
Yeah, and Collis is he's ranked 2 all time for both 5 and 10K. So, but it will be good to see him go here. We can see him out on the track. He's just moved out of screen. But World Cross Championships tomorrow. You're a previous World Cross Country champion yourself. Bring back a few memories, I guess?
Yeah, it does. 11 years ago when I won World Cross, and it does bring back a few memories. And I think I've run World Cross 11 times over the years, and it's been one of the best trips I've ever been on. Not just because of the race, and cross country is probably my favourite race, even though I love the road as well, but just because it's a team event too, and it's so vital that you get really a lot of people in the team in each event to score high, and the third place person in your team, if they came in the top 30, we usually get a medal. And I've been part of the other 2 medal-winning teams over the years as well. So it's brilliant when, you know, when everything goes right and everyone runs to their best ability and you come out on the podium. And it doesn't happen much these days, and I don't think there's been a non-African winner since I won 11 years ago. And I mean, we've taken a big team, and it's great to see, you know.
I'm getting tingles just hearing about that, you know. 11 years ago, you know,
I feel old,
this little white girl comes out and just belts out there and wins a World Cross Country Championship. I mean, that's amazing stuff.
Yeah, and no one expected it. We never got a medal, and I know the BBC commentators, Brendan Foster and Steve Cram, weren't saying that I was going to win, but I knew that I could win. But you just got to take risks in those events, and it paid off. And I've never got another medal, another individual medal, so you just got to take those chances when they come to you on the day.
Well, I'm pretty sure you're going to medal today, as in the commentary box here. We always have a 3, 2, 1.
Yeah, we'll do a presentation later.
And
what's the winner get?
The winner gets a high five.
High five.
Free accommodation.
Let's go down trackside to Lynchy. How's the breeze down there, mate?
It's actually settled down a little bit, you find, but we are kind of standing right in front of a tunnel just before the finish line. But like you heard Catherine Katsanavakis before say, it felt like a 360-degree headwind, which isn't ideal. But we might be able to keep an eye out on those long jump pits, and if we see a red flag or a white flag. But we are ready. It looks like there's going to be 3 heats, so very, very cutthroat out there. It's going to get, the boys have to go to war.
That's right. We have 13 competitors in this first of 3 preliminary heats in the men's 1500. Nicholas Whiteman, Jordan Guzman, Zach Patterson, Jeremy Roff, Riley Shaw, Andy Axford, Ben Covington, Guy Walters, Lachlan Aspinall, Isaac Hockey, Martin Mashford, Jeff Risley and Max Whiteoak, and I'd suggest Risley, Ross, Patterson, Guzman. Oh my goodness, this one's an absolute beauty. Of course, Jeff Risley is number 3 all-time on the Australian 1,500 metres fastest, behind Simon Doyle and Ryan Gregson, who is the world record holder, which he set back 22nd of July 2010.
Almost world record holder, Australian record holder.
Well, I've thrown it out there.
Well, you never know. That could happen one day.
Australia is a world in itself, surely.
It is. In our world, he's our record holder. But looking forward.
It's the world down under.
Yep, that's right.
Looking forward to seeing Gregson run. And this heat, as the boys have mentioned, absolutely stacked. So I think they're going to know that there's a few people in this race that are capable of getting through. So no one can sort of sit back and pray. They've got to really make it happen, Bonita, and we can see the boys going up now, and this is going to be a cracker.
Yeah, it's going to be top 3, so yeah, to progress automatically.
So they're away in this 1,500 metres, and Jordan Guzman gets straight to the lead, the man from the Australian Capital Territory. Jeremy Roff running well in second. Jeff Risley sits very nicely out on the outside of Zach Patterson, sitting around 4th, and we know Jeff Risley can time his run to perfection. We saw in Melbourne him give David Radisha a real nudge, and Roffy gets to the lead, and we can see the athletes come around now. Bonita, I think Risley's positioned here. He's just waiting, and he'll wait for the time to kick, I think.
Yeah, he looked really good in the 800 last night, and I think he's looking really good here, and he's just got to sit in there. I think all the guys at the front, they're all looking good, but they know that, you know, they've got to probably be in the top 3, and then next 3 fastest time, so they on really to get in that top 3, and there's a lot of good runners in this heat, so it could be quite quick, but yeah, we've just got to kind of you know, watch it play out.
You can see in front there 2 headbands, one of them being the naked runners. So Dave Robbo will be happy there in the birthing suites at the John Hunter Private Hospital in Newcastle. You know he will be Jordan Guzman there wearing the naked runners headband, and top 2. Can they hold on?
Yeah, looks James Roff out in front, looking pretty comfortable, and Jeff Risley poised in 4th, and Patterson sitting in 3rd. Guzman is in 2nd, and don't discard the athletes sitting back as well. There's a few that can make the move, including Andy Axford. He's looking pretty comfortable, the tall figure from South Australia. But the first 4 are the ones that are really looking to make the numbers and challenge for the final. Making a wide run is Max Whiteoak, the Queenslander, getting around 3 wide, and also another Victorian, Riley Shaw, formerly of the ACT. But going around again, it's still in the lead. It's Roff, Jeremy Roff, that is, from New South Wales, and he's just stretched out his lead a touch. down the back straight, Bonita.
Yeah, I think Ross, just by making it reasonably fast, you can see it's reasonably fast because they're quite strung out. They've got plenty of room to move. He's making that really, you know, just giving himself every chance he can to make the final. And it'll just be interesting to see what guys like Jeff Risley do, because he's very comfortable, but you're going to see him come up probably in the last lap just to make sure that he comfortably qualifies. But yeah, I mean, you just don't want to. Heats are funny things because you don't want to run too hard in the heat, but then you want to do enough to get through. And if you're leading the whole heat, it can be a bit tiring in the 1500. So yeah, you might see. It's gonna be an interesting last lap.
Yeah, no doubt about it. Still Jeremy Roff in the lead, and you can see the runners behind him, and that's Patterson, Guzman and Risley just poised. Jeff Risley having a look over his shoulder. He'll want to get out at some stage and really make his move. So around 300 metres to go. It's Jeremy Roff in the lead. Jordan Guzman, the man in the headband, makes his way to the lead. On the outside of him is Zach Patterson running well, and Risley sits beautifully in fourth, and you'd think he's going to get out very soon and make his way around the field. 200 metres to go. It's Guzman in the lead. No changes in second, third or fourth. 150 metres to go. They start to put the accelerator down, and it's Guzman and Patterson in front. Look at Risley just about to get out now. We saw him run well in Melbourne against the world record holder Adesha, and Jeff Risley looks very comfortable here. Risley looms up, gets to the lead. A great run from Mashford from Victoria. He might sneak up and take. Oh, that's a close finish for the minor placings, but Jeff Risley, our winner, 3:46.23, and a great battle between Guzman and Patterson, and also Martin Mashford from Victoria from the Melbourne University just loomed up, and he might be second or third. And Bonita, great racing in the first heat of the men's 1500 metres.
Yeah, well, it was really good racing, and I think just the patience that Risley showed there. I mean, he didn't really come to the front when he needed to be, and he's run a lot of these championship qualifying rounds, and you know, he just did enough to get through and to win, and he just looked really comfortable. And I think he's going to be tough to beat in the final, but I think you know, it's going to be tough because he's doing two events, so he's going to be a little bit more tired, you'd think. But I know he's tried it before, so he's obviously thinking that he's going to go for the double again.
You see Roth there with the headband, not quite performance enhancing. Ever worn a headband there, Bonita?
Can't say I have, but yeah, it's pretty distinctive. It looks all right. I don't know if it looked that good on chicks, but
no, it does. We got this theory that people do it to get on the stream. This trackside now, we have Lynchy with the winner of that first heat. It is Jeff Risley.
Yeah, Jeff Risley took the 8 heat last night. Now you're doing the 1500 meet. You're going to do the double this weekend?
Yeah, well, I guess I've done both heats now, so it'd be silly not to run both finals. But yeah, it was always my intention to do the double, and you know, the heat's interesting. You always want to save as much energy as you can, and you know, I ran 148 last night, which I didn't really expect to, and then you know, tonight was pretty comfortable. But good thing about both races, they were just pretty even from the start. There was no sort of big kick down or anything, so yeah, recover and get ready to go tomorrow night.
Yeah, we'll let you go. Big weekend. Good luck in the 8 and 15. Thank you.
Great to hear from Jeff Risley, and he's attempting a tough double. But one thing I know about Jeff Risley, other than being a top bloke, he's a fit man. So looking forward to seeing how he backs up for the 800-metre final and also the 1,500-metre final. You can bet your bottom dollar he will be pushing for medals in both, and I wouldn't be surprised if he wins gold medals in at least one. And it'd be great to see him win two, but I think he's got tough competition against the likes of Alex Rowe and Brian Gregson, and that's what makes these national championships exciting for those at home and also here. But Mossy, we've got our second heat about to get underway on the track.
Yes, that's what we do. Some of the big guns as well here. Joshua Johnson, Nick Dewar, Jack Stapleton, Mark C, Joshua Wright, Will Austin Cray, Ben Liddy, that man CJ Birmingham, Brodie Medini, Hugh Nicholson, Jordan Hewitt, and from Tasmania it is Jordan Tyler. And the ones to watch here, Josh Wright, and I'll also throw in there Collis Birmingham.
Yeah,
and Jeff C.
Looking forward to seeing these guys have a good battle in our second heat of the men's 1500 metre. We saw around a 3:46, so I'd expect the times to stick around that sort of range, and then in the final, maybe a touch quicker. But we do see in these championships, not generally a really quickly run race, but of course, the athletes can dictate that. And the meet record for this 3:35.71 was set by Jeff Risley in 2009. And we can see the boys away in the second heat of the men's 1,500 metres. And Jack Stapleton on the inside getting to the lead early. Collins Birmingham sort of sits back towards the end. And he'll be looking to make his run towards the end. A well-timed run by by Collis Birmingham, and interesting to see how he goes over this 1,500 metre event. So, as the athletes settle, we can see out in the lead, we've got our athletes, one of the interstate raiders from New South Wales, Will Austin Clay is in the lead. Jack Stapleton sits in second. Joshua Wright is in third. In fourth, it's Hugh Nicholson from Tasmania. Just behind him, Joshua Johnson looking very comfortable. So they're the ones who look like the early players, and Will Austin Clay is running very well, and he'll be one to look at in the final. And Coles Birmingham, he's probably sitting about 4 back from the back of the field and slowly making his way through the field, Bonita. But as we go early on through this race, pretty packed field and no one making any moves yet.
No, it's a pretty packed field, and certainly they're kind of all just bunching up now. And a lot of the time in these mid stages of these middle distance races, no one really wants to lead, but you want to make the heat as fast as you can so you can try to get 6 people from this heat through. But someone like Collis, he hasn't raced much, and I think he's probably quite comfortable where he is at the moment, but I wouldn't be surprised if he tries to get out pretty soon, because he wants it to be quite an even pace. He doesn't want it to be a race where it's just a smash out sprint finish in the last 400. And we can see now Collis is moving up, so I may as well be coaching him. No.
And Bonita makes that call, and Coles Birmingham moves up to 4th, and he makes that decisive move, so really putting himself into contention. And the race leader at this stage is Joshua Johnson from the nation's capital, and he's looking pretty comfortable out in front, but he's got a few to contend with, and I've got a feeling that Joshua Wright and Coles Birmingham will be right in this finish. And Jack Stapleton looks very comfortable with his free-flowing action in second, but Josh Johnson in the lead, and they come around near the pole vault. We can see our male pole vaulters warming up at this stage, and also in the men's long jump, the first group's underway. Robbie Crowther has just recorded his first jump. Good to see Robbie Crowther, one of the locals here, and they're just putting his first jump on the board, and 7:35 for Robbie Crowther in the first round. So solid jumping from Robbie Jill Crowther. As we can see from New South Wales, Jack Stapleton up on the shoulder of Collis Birmingham. So Collis is going to lead them through. Less than 400 metres to go in this 1,500 metres. Sitting nicely in third, Josh Wright. He's had a good run all the way through this race in transit, and he'll be right in the finish of this race. So
I've just got to add that I'm just impressed with Collis's inside run.
Getting the rails run.
Yeah, it's very rare that happens.
Can't believe it opened up like that.
Yeah.
Well, as we close our eyes for 1 second and getting to the lead, it's Josh Wright. We saw him. We see him always competitive in this 1,500 metre event, and he gets to the lead. So Collis sits back into third, sitting pretty well. Jack Stapleton's really in contention this race, and not too far off it. It's Mark C. So these 4 are the ones who are going to battle out. On the outside, the West Australian Mark C swoops them all, gets to the lead, and I think he's just going to hold off Josh Wright on the inside. They cross side by side, 3:45.15 unofficially between Josh Wright and Mark C, and Colts will take third, and in fourth was Jack Stapleton. Great finish in our second heat, Bonita.
Oh yeah, I think that was a bit faster than the first heat. So it was good. I think that run by Collis was really good as well. But all 3 of those guys automatically through, and I think it was a very smart race as well. I don't think they ran themselves into the ground, but yeah.
Yes, you can see that. I do want to apologise again to the C family. I said Jeff, but it was Mark from WA there. And Josh Wright, we saw he got disqualified in last year's 1,500 metre final for coming across the line of, it was Ryan Gregson.
Ooh.
Let's not forget.
We won't forget that anytime soon.
That's right. And the winner was, yes, that's right, none other. The winner was none other than Jeff Risley. But Collis Birmingham, let's not forget, he's ranked 10 all time. over the 1,500 metres. He's such a legend of the sport.
He's a legend of the sport.
And he looks like
on and off the track, top bloke.
And whenever you see him, he looks like he's stepped straight out of the bush-ranging mountains of Victoria, doesn't he?
Loves Ballarat, doesn't he? He's a bit of a trooper, runs for Eureka Athletics Club, last time I checked.
Yeah, he's great guy. I've trained with him a lot prior to Beijing Olympics, and great guy. And he really looks after everyone else that he trains with as well. Like, great guy to be around in Europe and America as well.
Yep, agreed.
And here we go, the lineup for the third of the 3 preliminaries here for the men's 1,500 metres at the 93rd Australian Athletics Championships. Ben Anderson, David Bradney from New South Wales, Elaine Dutton, James Hansen, Tom Forthorpe from Victoria, Sam Russell, Michael Roger, Ryan Gregson, Bryce Cole-Sinclair, Brenton Rowe, Michael Marantelli, Philo Saunders of the ACT, and rounding things out on the outside from New South Wales is Adrian Plummer. Now, it does say here Ryan Gregson from Victoria. No way. He's an NSW boy.
No, mate. He's registered in Victoria.
I don't care where he's registered. I can tell you where he was born. I can even tell you where he went to school down there on the south coast.
Hashtag OMAC. I reckon we can get him on board.
I used to have Victoria behind my name. I think Victorians claim you.
Yeah, they claim
there.
That's what we do.
Not as bad as Queensland. You could claim anyone. And just throwing it down trackside to Matt Lynch for one of the top place getters in that second prelim. It is Josh Wright.
Yeah, thanks, guys. We'll have a quick chat before he gets out there to warm down. Josh, how was that race? Bit windy out there?
Oh, I didn't really feel it that much when I'm racing, but I was tucking in for the first few laps. But no, I didn't feel the wind at all. No,
good. Excellent. Well, there you go. It's not that windy out there. Hopefully the 100 boys will like that. Looking forward to Sunday for that 1,500 metre final?
Oh, yeah, definitely. Like, I've had some good training under my belt now. I'm feeling pretty confident, and I'm able to see what I can do on Sunday.
Excellent. Thank you, Josh. Back up to you. Wormy to call the race.
Thanks, Lynchy. And the man who feels... Great win in the second heat of the 1,500 metres, and Tom Forthorpe, a Victorian, in the lead. And we see Brenton Rowe go around the outside. He competes for Victoria, but sometimes also Austria, believe it or not. So he's an interesting character. Sitting beautifully is Ryan Gregson in second. Also, Michael Roger, one to watch here, the South Australian. He's actually competed at the Paralympics.
Save that voice, Ollie. You've got 3 days to go, buddy.
He's competed at the Paralympics for Australia.
Ryan Gregson.
And he's a really top athlete and also a great bloke. So they head down the back straight, and in the lead, it is Tom Forthorpe. He's made a decisive move early on and looks very comfortable out in the lead. Brenton Rowe makes his way in a second. Ryan Gregson, he's in third, looking very comfortable, and you'd expect him to be right in the finish. Got Michael Marantelli in this field as well. He's the AFL umpire, very prominent in the Victorian Athletics League in the handicap running, so he's one to watch. And you can see the athletes as well. James Hansen, the Tasmanian, well positioned, sitting in fourth. So looking comfortable out in front. Philo Saunders he's a sort of bloke who pops up every single championship. He seems to find his way into all sorts of finals, and he's been around for a long time, so he's tries his hand at coaching as well. A lot of class athletes and great to see him still competing at the highest level in Australia over 1,500 metres. Down the back straight, Bonita, it's Brenton Rowe in the lead, and this one could be an interesting 1,500 metres as it unfolds.
Yeah, I think Ryan's looking really good. Ryan Gregson there, just sitting in, and as he told you guys after he won Sydney, I think he's put together quite a lot of months of training back to back, and he's had quite a lot of injuries, and I think he's just, every race he's just getting stronger and stronger. He's going to be hard to beat in the final, but you've got to make it first, so he's just got to make the right moves in the last lap here, but he's looking good.
No doubt about that. So back to the action, and Brenton Rowe is looking very comfortable out in front. In second, Tom Forthorpe. He's run a great race all this way through. James Hansen sits nicely in fifth. Philo Saunders sneaks up on the inside of Ryan Gregson, and Gregson, as we mentioned his name, starts to make his move with around 350 metres to go in the third and final heat of our men's 1,500 metres. They go through with 300 metres to go. It's still Brenton Rowe in the lead. Look at Gregson just looming up on the outside, and Gregson makes his way to the lead. Philo Saunders trying to stick with him every step. Tom Forthorpe, what a gutsy run from him. He's been with these boys all the way through. And James Hansen, the Tasmanian, can he make his way into the Australian final of the 1500 metres? But in front, Ryan Gregson looking very, very comfortable. Around 120 metres to go, he hits the home turn as Ryan Gregson in the lead. Brenton Rowe is in second. James Hansen, the Tasmanian, can he make his way into the final? But no doubt about who's going to take out our third heat. Looks over his shoulder, Ryan Gregson. He's all class, and he takes out the third heat of the 1500 metres, 3:45.24. Brenton Rowe, great run for second, and in third is James Hansen, the Tasmanian. But that concludes our heats of the men's 1500 metres, and cannot wait to see the final of that. Seeing the likes of Gregson, Risley, Josh Wright go head-to-head in that battle. Collis Birmingham hopefully snuck in, and it's going to be a great battle soon, Benita.
Oh, yeah, that final's going to be fantastic. I think all these middle distance races, 8s and 15s, men and women, they're going to be fantastic. And this men's 1500 final, I can't wait to, just to watch all the tactics. And I think, it'll be interesting to see what goes on, because there's some very strong rivalries in this men's 1500. So, and that always leads to a very good race, very competitive race. And I think, when you've got a lot of very competitive people in one event, it just brings up the form.
So impressive, Ryan Gregson there. Amazing stuff. He really stamped his claim down on the 1500 metres, and he is now trackside with none other than Matt Lynch.
Thank you, Mossy, here with Gregson. How was that? Nice and easy, blow out the cobwebs before the final on Sunday?
Yeah, I felt pretty good. I swear, in this heat, you never feel fantastic. You always feel a bit lethargic. But when I started to move away with 250 to go, I was able to get a bit of a gap without pushing too hard. So, pretty happy with that. Yeah.
And how's the moustache coming along? It's looking a little bit better since last we spoke.
Closer.
Yeah, it's not looking too bad.
Yeah, my girlfriend was saying she wants to put a bit of mascara in it to make it more like yours, but it's there. But it's just very light.
Maybe for the final, that's something to bring out.
A bit of mascara, you reckon? Yeah.
Why not? Thanks, Ryan. Back up to you guys in the box.
Thanks very much, Lynchy, down there trackside with Ryan Gregson. Of course, he's the national record holder across the 1500 metre distance. Narrowly pit for the world record by about 7 seconds. But anyway.
Where's Wally? Can you see me?
Yeah. I can't see you. I can see you. You're right next to me. There we go. Resplendent in your non-athletics Australia tee, mate. Good to see. And we see here we have a final over here. The guys getting ready for the men's ambulant 1500 metres. And we'll tell you who's involved in just a moment. As you can see the guys there, plenty of action going across the 93rd Australian Athletics Championships. If you'd like to join the party, hashtag Summer of Ass, and you can also go the AAC 15. But Summer of Ass is the official one to jump on board the live stream here, and we'll try to get as many of those out there as we can. You can see the guys just warming up now for the men's 1500 metre ambulant, and plenty of action going on around the place. Down in front of us, and you can see there the long jump pit. You've got the first of the qualifying rounds for the men's long jump. Robbie Crowther, the favourite in amongst the crew there. If you can see the marquee, he's just leaving that now. And we're waiting to find out. Unfortunately, we don't have the list here. But anyway, 1500 metres done and dusted there, B. Who do you think's going to win that one?
I think it's going to be close, but I think it's just going to. I think you can't go past Ryan Gregson. I think he's shown domination today. It'll depend on how it's run, and Risley might want it a bit slower because he's running so many events. But yeah, certainly I think I can't go past Ryan Gregson. I think he's confident and he's ready. But Risley ran fantastic in that 800 at Melbourne last week, and he's in great shape, and both his heats have looked fantastic as well. So I think it's going to be between those two, but I think the variations could be, what Collis does, how fast it is, who goes out, if it's really slow, there's so many factors with these middle distance races, and you've really got to think on your feet. And, you know, the coaches can tell them so much, but they really have to decide what they're going to do in the race and run to their strengths. And it'll probably be fairly good conditions. You know, if it's really windy, that'll be, you know, a bit annoying, but the humidity and the heat here is fine for 1500. So I think it could be a really good race.
Absolutely.
Like Gregson.
Said, thank you very much. You got there, yeah. I thought Risley at the start, but Gregson's run there was brilliant. I thought he took control of that race, you know, in that final lap. But yes. Anyway, the final of the men's 1500-metre ambulance: Sedaris, Howard, Clifford, Kenzie, Island, Bird, and Scott.
Thank you, Mossy. And away in this final, 7 athletes to go. Brad Scott, one to watch here, the West Australian. Another one of my former housemates. Used to live with him and Robbie Crowther, so he'll be one to watch. Looks like Kenzie in number 4 running well early on, and just ahead of him is Clifford, and Brad Scott, the West Australian, sits nicely in 3rd. Just behind him, it's Bird sitting well in 4th. But these boys going head-to-head, and Brad Scott looking very comfortable. A athlete who's performed very well on the world scale as a Paralympian, winning numerous medals, and going out very wide, and he gets to the lead. So a bit of an unorthodox overtake, you'd say, Benita, but Brad Scott makes his way to the lead.
Yeah, and you know, in these middle distance races, you don't really want to increase your pace dramatically. Usually the fastest races in 1500 are run when you're but you know, I think if you need to get past someone quickly and you want to stay out of trouble, it's fine. And yeah, he looks pretty comfortable, but he probably doesn't want to stay at the front unless he gaps the field, because you don't want to find yourself in front of a field so early on in a race like this, and then have people just running behind you and just using you to basically pace make them until the last lap. And I think we're going to see that with all these finals, that you don't really want to be in the front until you cross the finish. But, you know, if you're very good and you're much better than everyone else, you can win and be in front 2-3 laps out in the 50. It's just a more risky way of running.
No doubt about it, Benitez. So these 3 have rocketed to the lead, and the other ones look likely to battle it out here. And that's Brad Scott of West Australia in the lead. Kenzie sitting nicely in 2nd, and in 3rd, the Victorian is Clifford. So these 3 boys, with 2 laps to go, make their way through, and less than 800 metres to go now in this 1500-metre event. And looking good over the men's pole vault. The bar, they start at 4.60 metres, and Lynchy has got a fun fact for us down there. Lynchy, what do you got for us, mate?
Yeah, the Tasmanian Dion Kenzie back in December broke the world record for the T38 class with a 4:08.51, so he could be the favourite in there, although he might not get line honours. He could be I'd pick him. He's my pick for this title. Hopefully he can go faster than 4:08.51. We might see a world record.
Whoa, whoa, whoa. Oh, you never know, mate. We love seeing world records, and that would be an absolute treat, as you would say. What a treat. But he looks very comfortable out in front, Kenzie, and starting to extend his lead. And we see the men's pole vaulters just finishing their warm-ups. The men's long jump, that first pool, is getting towards the business end of their qualifying, and of course not far away from Group 2. Robbie Crowther looks like he's had a couple of good jumps, happy with how he's going, and can pack things up for the final, hopefully. But Kenzie's in the lead, and he's got less than 400 metres to go in this final. The Victorian is sitting nicely. Clifford in 2nd, and Brad Scott, can he win from there? He currently sits in 3rd. But Kenzie down the back straight, he's really starting to open up. He's got plenty left in the tank, and if I was a betting man from this point of the race, I'd be backing him, because he looks very comfortable and moving down the back straight. So less than 250 metres to go. It's Kenzie. We heard that fact from Matt Lynch, so thank you, Lynchy, for those facts. He's one of the most switched-on men in athletics. Lynchy knows a lot of stats, and most of all, he knows how to pronounce every single person's name, which is something that from here to here I'm not the best at. But Lynchy is an absolute, he's an atlas, not an atlas,
Go, no. You're going to get this one home. Go.
No, keep going. I'm an atlas.
He's an atlas. He can tell you where you're going. He's a thesaurus. He's a dictionary. He just knows all the stats. That's what I'm trying to get at. But Kenzie takes out this 1,500 metres, and the time 4:13.46. A great win for Kenzie in that event, and I'll find the word I'm looking for, Lynchy, for you. You're a
encyclopedia.
Encyclopedia. That is the word.
No. He's a Wikipedia.
He's Google. I can ask him anything, he'll give me the answer.
Yep.
So, no, look, Lynchy, great to have him part of the team. Unfortunately, we haven't got Robbo here, so only the three of us today. But great to have the whole camera crew, our production crew, everyone here, and it's been a great tour, Mossy, and all coming to an end.
Well, mate, I'll tell you what, it's still got plenty to go, though, that's for sure. And just coming in on the hashtag Summer of Ass, Ange Lee says, great way to be entertained on my Friday Arvo commute, tuning into the AAC 15. Thanks, Athletics Australia, for the live streams. And, Ange, we know you've been a huge follower of the tour so far, and we appreciate your support as much as you appreciate ours. And Rach Mullane, how you going, Rach? Hopefully you'll be making up sometime this weekend. But anyway, she said, Mossy and Robbo keeping me entertained for the next 3 hours of uni. Fantastic way to look at the live stream. I reckon, Rach, see, if you're at uni, I want you to get it up on the screen. See if you can get it up on the screen. I reckon people will learn more about it than anything. So, but Rach Mullane...
She's still at uni, for goodness sake, on a Friday. Oh, I feel for her, but she's probably doing honours or something, probably doing a Masters. You've got to get it done.
Former Athletics New South Wales employee. And we might go down trackside to Lynchy just to get a bit of an understanding of the conditions as we see them.
Yeah, it's definitely settled down here, Mossy. Like Gregson said, and Josh Wright said, he didn't even feel any wind at all, but you might see a little bit of fluttering of the flags there just near the finish line. Not sure what way they're going to turn these 100 yet, if they'll run it reverse or down towards me, but we've got the 800 metres for the women's HEP about to get underway. And it looks like we've still got a few long jumpers jumping. I saw Henry Frame walk past pretty early, so I think he might have popped out an automatic qualifier in one of his earlier rounds. But as you can see on the track, we have the starters in the women's 800 metres in the heptathlon. The final event, number 7. They've had a big weekend already.
Absolutely, and those flags waving around in the background. It's live in Queensland, of course. We love Queensland, and thank you to the Queensland government. Massive injection of funds to make sure that this event could happen here at the QE2 Stadium as part of the Queensland Sports and Athletics Centre. And Benita, it's been a pleasure having you on board.
Yeah.
You're going to be sticking around for the rest of the next couple of days?
Yeah, I'll be sticking around, and yeah, I've got helping out a few people here as well with their races and interstate people. So yeah, I'll be around. I'll be keen to call some of the races just to help out.
Yep.
Offer a few comments.
Yeah, no, absolutely. We'll definitely have you back over the weekend for sure. But thank you so much for giving us some of your insights into the distance events. Absolute legend, and it's a standing ovation from everyone here for Benita Willis, absolute legend of the sport.
Yeah, great to have Benita here. And just as we say goodbye, Benita, I've got the qualifiers here for the men's 1,500 metre final. The athletes to go through. It's Jeff Risley, Zach Patterson, Martin Mashford, Joshua Wright, Mark C., Coles Birmingham, Jack Stapleton. And from the third heat was Ryan Gregson, Brenton Rowe, James Hansen, Adrian Plummer, Tom Forthorpe is the final athlete to take his place in the final. So they're also available for those on home. And that is the men's 1,500 metre final.
As you can see the girls lining up now here, and it's a farewell to Benita. We'll catch you later.
Okay, yeah, catch you guys later.
Thanks, B. Benita Willis, the national record holder from 2000, 3005, 10 and marathon, and former world cross-country champion and also Olympian.
Yeah, great to have Benita here. Sorry to see her go. And away in this 800 metres, they're finishing off. So 2 days, 7 events. This is their 7th event, and a lot of these girls, this won't be their most favoured event. And we can see the athletes move down the back straight. Looks like Fry looking like she wants to take up the running. and she makes her way to the lead. On her outside, running a good race, is Reddinghouse. She looks like she's going to make her way to the lead, and after 7 events, it must be tough for some of these girls to get the energy together to run this 800 metres. And let's hope these girls have had a productive few days before this, obviously throughout this, and they look like they're fatigued, but this is what they have to do to get through this event. So in the HEP, obviously 7 events, 4 on day 1, 3 on day 2. And on the outside, Malloy, the Queensland, looks like she's going to make her way to the lead. And they get the bell. The split is 71-10. And Malloy, the Queenslander, makes her way to the lead. Christy Malloy, she's had a solid few days. And the leader for the heptathlon, just so everyone knows, Veronica Tor, the New Zealander, she's in the lead so far on 4,912 points. In second, it's Alicia Burnett on 4,574 points. And Ashley Hamilton is in third on 4,509 points. So they've all got one event to go, this 800 metres, and they've completed those 6 events. But in this, the first heat of the 800 metres, out in front is Malloy, the Queenslander. We're going to see some of our athletes who are really pushing for this Australian Championship in the second heat of the 800 metres, but Malloy in front, really gritting her teeth together, and she's going to hit the home straight. Less than 100 metres to go in the lead. And Reddinghouse trying to go with her, and looks like she's going to swamp her and take the lead in the last 50 metres, and a great win in our first heat of the 800 metres for the heptathletes, and I'm sure they'll be relieved. 2:23.51, end of 2 long days, and Reddinghouse takes out the first heat of this 800 metres, and these girls will sleep well tonight after 2 days of running, jumping and chucking.
Yes, you can see the girls there. Well, let's hopefully that's not a chuck there. It's a man who I've seen go that far is Maddie Lynch. Down there, mate, the sun is starting to set. We've still got plenty of action coming up here. We've got the 100 metres, men and women not too far away, and also the women's hammer throw final. The girls there really sucking them in hard, Lynchy.
Yeah, no, this is one of the toughest events. It's always good when you see the podium medals given out. All the girls get out there to celebrate. But yeah, like you said, the sun has gone down and the lights are on. It's time to start the big show. The 100 metre heats coming on as we see the second heat walk out onto the track. It's got a few big names in this one. Ashley Hamilton, I think she was second last year behind Sophie Stanwell. We've got Alicia Burnett, who was 5th at the World Youth in 2013, picked for the World Juniors in 2014, unfortunately getting injured. And Ella Solon from WA was a 400 metre hurdler at the World Juniors last year. Now she's gone from the 4 hurdles to, obviously the natural progression is doing the heptathlon. So there's a bit of talent out there in the field in the second heat, as you see on the scoreboard. That's heat 1. We might be able to wait to see heat 2. So I think this is where the medals are going to be decided out of these ladies who are out on the track now.
No doubt about it, and you can see Veronica Tor, the New Zealander, she's the visitor, and Alicia Burnett, Ashley Hamilton will be battling out for the Australian Championship, but you can see on the screen the New Zealander Veronica Tor in the lead, currently on 4,912 points. Alicia Burnett, 4,574 points in the lead. Ashley Hamilton just behind her on 4,509 points, so she's got a bit of work to do to make up on Alicia Burnett, but it can be done in this 800 metres, and they're really got to dig deep. So looking forward for those at home to watch Burnett v Hamilton. Can Ashley Hamilton reel in the leader Alicia Burnett in the last event of this 800 metres for the heptathletes? You can see Hamilton. Can she do it, Mossy?
Yeah, well, 3rd last year behind Bing and Stanwell in the championship, so can she come up with it now?
Would not surprise me, and they're away in this 800 metres. So, as we mentioned, there's a few athletes to watch, and Veronica Tor, she's had a great few days. 13.68 in the 100 metre hurdles, 1.74 on the high jump, 13.13 in the shot put, 25.04 in the 200, 6.08 in the long jump, a 30.79 in the javelin, and this is her final event. But getting to the lead early on it's West. And she makes her way to the lead in this heat of the 800 metres. And you can see in second place, Veronica Tor from New Zealand running well. She's got the funky tights on, and she'll be looking to finish off her heptathlon on a high, and hopefully record a season's best, or ideally a personal best. But well out in front. We can see she must be an 800 metre specialist, Mossy, because she's about to go through 63.11, so not too far off what they went through in the 800 metre heats tonight, and she'll be looking to hold on, and a time of sub 2:10 would be pretty impressive for these heptathletes.
Unbelievable lead here by Bing. She's really laying it out. You can see as we panned out to the big wide shots, you could hardly see anyone else, and they're still not coming into the frame, and she's easily going to take out this 800 metres. Nice technique, and at this stage of the event, when you're starting the lactic acids really build up over time, she's really firing up out in front.
Indeed, and the main move I'm looking at now is Ashley Hamilton. So she makes her way into second, and Alicia Burnett, she's a bit further back, so this could be the decider. Gets Ashley Hamilton the Australian title, but we'll wait for confirmation. But Bing is in the lead, and she's going to hit the home straight and get a commanding win and finish off her heptathlon. She's had a pretty good day, currently in 6th position. Another New Zealand visitor, but Ashley Hamilton, she's the athlete we want to see, and she may well become the Australian champion, because she's a fair way ahead of Alicia Burnett. And crossing the line was Bing in a time of 2:14.20. Ashley Hamilton digging deep. Every second counts. The quicker she gets, the more points she gets. And Ashley Hamilton finishes in second. And the overall winner, we assume, is Veronica Tor, the New Zealander. She crossed the line, but we'll wait for official placings and see if Ashley Hamilton has overtaken Alicia Burnett in the women's heptathlon. They've finished 7 events, 2 grueling days, and they'll sleep well tonight.
Absolutely sensational run there. Just starting to dig deep, and it's fantastic to see these girls. I've got a soft spot for the heptathletes, and the decathletes, the boys as well. They're just sensational. The fitness, and we'll just go trackside now with Lynchy.
These girls are absolutely hurting. One of them is just taking a little snooze on the sideline. We've still got girls from the first heat wandering around trying to walk out that lactic acid. What a way to finish. Always putting their entire body on the line, and it's been hanging around for two days now, 7 events. We'll see what the final point score is as we can look down the track. The girls in the first heat of the women's 100 are starting to set their blocks up, and I think the winners just turned around. Those flags we were looking at before, they're facing me now. I think we might have a nice little tailie out there.
Yes, and if you've just joined us here, 93rd Australian Athletics Championship, join us on the hashtag Summer of Ass, and we'll get out to you there. You can see the girls getting lined up for the first of the 100 metre heats.
Mel Breen on the outside. Doesn't normally get those sort of lanes, but
you can see the starting lineup here for the first heat. It's Kiara Chambers, Abby Taddeo from New South Wales. In lane 4, Larissa Dyke. Lane 5 is Razvinda Gill from New South Wales. 3 Queenslanders. In lane 6, Tessa Milton. Lane 7, Michelle Cutmore. Lane 8, Tara Hawking. The favourite, undoubtedly the fastest woman ever across this distance in lane 9 is Melissa Breen. And from New Zealand, in lane 10 is Fiona Morrison.
Yes, Mossy, a class field assembled, and the athlete to watch in these heats, Melissa Breen. She's had a great season, edging closer towards her PB, but we haven't seen anything amazing from her. That's part of her plan with her coach, Matt Beckenham, because they're working more towards the championships, World Championships, and you can see on the screen now their profile, 11-11, 23-1-2, 4 national titles, the Australian record holder over this distance, and her and her coach, Matt Beckenham, really looking to get her running in PB shape towards the end of the season, and that's their plan, and she's been really working on her 200 metre races as well, so we've seen her perhaps finish her races a bit better than she has in the past, and no doubt that'll pay dividends if she can combine that speed endurance with her already lethal block start. And we can see her competitor in the background, Sally Pearson. That's going to be a great battle as they go head-to-head in the final, assuming they both make it.
So, yes, it's been sensational sprinting over the years between Breen and Pearson, multiple national championships. And as we said there, 4 for Melissa Breen, one of those in the 200 metres. And Sally Pearson's won one there as well. So it's shapes up to be a sensational couple of days of athletics for the sprinters. And we're not too far away. Getting things underway here at the 93rd Australian Athletics Championships. Looking at the lineup there, of course. Mel Breen, Michelle Cutmore there, lane 7. Very handy runner indeed. Hawking there, maybe a little bit looking excited, but maybe a bit intimidated with a girl with 11:11 next to your name running across there.
It's quicker than I run, Mossy. It's quicker than my PB over 100 metres.
Well, it's quicker than mine too, Ollie. And I have to admit, I'd say across the whole of the production crew here, slightly quicker. What about Lynchy down there, mate? What's your PB?
No, I've got it covered.
Oh, nice.
Luckily.
When did you run that?
2008 was the last time I ran 100.
And you ran a...
10.64.
Oh, I actually used to train in the squad. And I've run quicker than over 200 metres, but over 100 metres. And there was talk I'd be put on the B401 and she'd take my spot. Used to get me a bit angry, actually. But I've run a decent 200, but not like her over 100 metres. And that's her pet event, so... She's a pretty amazing athlete, and no doubt she'll be looking to get the win this year. She won't want to lose to Sally Pearson and vice versa.
Now, I'm surprised that they haven't turned this one round, Lynchy. It's quite windy. These girls will be going into a headwind, I'm assuming?
Yeah, no, as soon as those heptathletes stepped off the track, the wind did turn up and it's blowing. I'm looking straight down the track at the moment and I'm getting a big breeze at my back. I can't see an electronic wind gauge out there, so we won't be able to know straight away, but it is only a heat, and there will be semis, so I think tomorrow they might turn it around. They're just probably going to try and get that photo finish camera working down at the other end so we can run it backwards, but it makes it easier for me to interview the athletes if they run towards me, that's for sure.
So we don't have a wind gauge?
Oh no, we do have a wind gauge, just unlike Sydney and Melbourne, it won't come up straight away for us to see. It's a little spiky tripod in the middle of the track.
Awesome, that's fantastic.
As long as they do record the wind gauge, we'll survive, but we'll get those wind readings for you in the results. But first heat's about to come up on the track, and the one to watch, Melissa Breen. Michelle Cutmore, one of the local girls, she'll be very competitive in this 100 metres. And really the one to watch on the outside, Melissa Breen of the ACT, and Coach Matty B is quietly confident of her running well, and no doubt they'll be preparing her to go off to overseas after this race shortly. No doubt heading to Japan, and then to Europe, and then ideally lining up at the World Championships representing her country. And they're going into their blocks now. This is Heat 1 of the women's 100-metre heats. And this is the 93rd Australian Athletics Championships. And this is day 2. Away in this 100 metres, and Breen is off to an absolute flyer on the outside, running well on the inside, Taddeo. But Melissa Breen says, see you later, I've got this heat covered, and Melissa Breen will take out this heat of the 100 metres. 11.54, the unofficial time, 11.54. Had a fair crack running through the line, I'd say, and officially that time was 11.50 for the 100 metres. That's been rounded down to. But having a fair crack in the 100 metres in the first heat, Melissa Breen takes it out. But good to see her getting her first run of the championships out of the way.
Well, I was just about to say before we started there, the one, just a little sneaky one to watch there was Abby Taddeo in the inside lanes there. She's a notable hurdler, one of the upcoming hurdlers, another one from down there in the south coast of New South Wales, and she absolutely belted. But you'll see here on the Adidas replay that Mel Breen just came out absolutely firing. And Taddeo second from the top in lane 3. Cutmore out of lane 7 as well. But look at that start by Breen. Absolutely smashing it out there. Now, if you think that Sally Pearson's got a bit better of a start as well, but she just strode out. But Taddeo in there in lane 3 and Cutmore going well. And we'll just go down trackside now to that lady on the screen. It is Matt Lynch with Mel Breen.
Thank you, Mossy. We are with Mel Breen. Talk us through the race. Good to get that one out of the way.
Yeah, I feel a lot better than Melbourne. I'm really happy with that. Obviously, it's a little windy here today, so all the girls were saying after the race they're a bit surprised. It came with a tailwind, but happy with that and looking forward to tomorrow.
Yeah, so semi-final tomorrow. What's your plans between now and then?
Eat, sleep, and not much else. So I'll go and cool down now, get a rub, and go do some recovery, and have a relaxing morning, and coming out and hopefully run a bit faster tomorrow night.
Excellent, thank you, Mel, and good luck tomorrow. Up to you boys again.
Yeah,
thanks
very much,
Lynchy. As you see there, Sally Pearson in her quick chick outfit, of course, Adidas.
We love Adidas.
Yeah,
I love Adidas.
You love Adidas.
I love it.
I can say I room with Ollie, and he wears Adidas to sleep.
I wear Adidas to sleep.
Here we go, lining up for Heat 2 of the women's 100 metres. From New South Wales in Lane 2 is Laura Duncan. Lane 3 from Victoria, Brittany Burkett. Lane 4, Eliana Seymour from Queensland. In Lane 5, it's Sally Pearson from Queensland. Lane 6, Queenslanders Lauren O'Sullivan. In Lane 7, from New South Wales, Christine Wern. Lane 8 is Katrina Hunt from New South Wales. Lane 9 from WA is Jasvinga Kang. And in Lane 10, Ellie Graff from New South Wales.
You didn't say Christine Worm then, mate. It's Christine Wern.
I said Worm, did I?
No, I've occasionally hear her name being pronounced.
Okay.
Got Worm on his mind.
You can see there, Sally Pearson. Should have seen that run from Mel and saw the domination. You see there, everything she's done. It's just amazing. She's won gold and silver at Olympic World Champs as well. 2 Commonwealth golds, a World Indoor Championships gold, and 11-time national champion. 11 times.
One of the all-time greats of this country, and she's the ultimate competitor, I'd say.
She's the modern great. She's the greatest we have seen and probably will ever see in our lifetime, I'm suggesting.
Yeah, that wouldn't be the most outlandish call you've ever made, mate.
I have made a few too, haven't I?
We've all made some outlandish calls, particularly on this tour. But
I do want to clarify, I did know there was a wind gauge down there, but what I was saying is that it's just not displaying, which we'll have to get onto that one. I might leave that one with Lynchy. He's got some sway around these parts. Anyway, second heat of the women's 100 metres.
Obviously the one to watch, Sally Pearson in lane 5. And the wind is howling down there, but doesn't bother Sally Pearson because she is an absolute gun. And away first time, and next to her, Wern got a good start, but now Sally Pearson gets into her running. Wern's running well in second, Ellie Graff on the outside, but there's Sally Pearson, one of the all-time greats, crosses the line, 11.68. Pretty comfortable for Sally Pearson, and she's through to the Australian final in the women's 100-metre sprint. And 11.63 officially for Sally Pearson. We saw her accolades before the race. And it was a minus 0.7 metre headwind. Matt Lynch has informed us. So,
Lynchy, you are now the official time gauge, mate. You are the official time gauge, buddy. We're just going to go straight to you. See there, Sally Pearson on centre screen. She's just disappeared, but she's done just about everything, and absolutely sensational stuff there by Sally Pearson. Ash Whittaker, you can see there out of lane 3. She'll be the favourite for this one with the sort of light pink shirt that she's wearing. Third in last year's Nationals. She represented Australia at Commonwealth Games last year. We'll see here on the Adidas replay. And why not be Adidas? Because you see Sally Pearson in Adidas. And not the best of starts by Sally. Some of the girls on the outside lanes probably looking the better of. But Sally Pearson at this stage, she knows she's got it in the bag. But this is what I love about Pearson. She just keeps going and gets the dip. She didn't stop. She didn't cool back. She went straight for it, Ollie.
She went for it, mate, and got the job done. Never in doubt, and looking very good for that final. And thank you to Adidas for the sponsoring of this, and Sally Pearson loves her Adidas as well. So does athletes like Henry Fran and Robbie Crowther. But Mossy, you got the start list for us.
Yes, and it's live here in Queensland for the third heat of the Women's Open. 100 metres in lane 2 from Fiji, Cecilia Savula. In lane 3 from Victoria, Ashley Whittaker. Lane 4, Laura Whaler of New South Wales. Lane 5 from Victoria is Kendra Hubbard. In lane 6 from New South Wales, Hayley Butler. Lane 7 from New Zealand, Zoe Hobbs. Lane 8 is Patricia Taya from the Cook Islands. And in lane 9 from New South Wales is Gabriella O'Grady. And the one to watch here is Whittaker. I'll also be interested to see how Laura Whaler goes, a former World Championship representative. But she hasn't found the form that she was there, but from a long layoff. Well, as I said, just be interested to see if she could maybe sneak away into a final.
Yeah, she had the old keyhole surgery in her hip, just like I've had as well, and hasn't quite come back at her best yet, but no doubt she can be competitive again. I think a PB from off the top of my head, 11:43 or 11:42. So when she's on song, she is right up there with Australia's best and has been part of some pretty impressive relay teams. But Ash Whittaker's an athlete I've been really impressed with throughout the tour, really pushing it with the likes of Pearson and Breen over the championship, and she'll be the one to watch here, and she's coming out of lane 3.
See there, Whaler jumping up and down. Yeah, her PB, 11:46. She has run a windy 11:41 at 11:46 previously. Girl from East Maitland up in Newcastle. She trains down in Victoria.
Well, she's actually in Sydney now with her boyfriend, Adam Rabone.
She's
back in Sydney.
Good to see.
The former triple jumper, Adam Rabone, and they're up there living the life together, and he'll be cheering for his girlfriend here, Laura Whaler, and I'd love to see her post a sub-12 second, but also Hayley Butler, she's always in the money, and also Kendra Hubbard, so it's a pretty consistently competitive heat, this third one, and a few girls will be battling it out to make the final and join Melissa Breen and Sally Pearson and a couple of others, and that's going to be an absolutely cracking final when it takes place, but in the starters' hands.
Whittaker, the one to watch.
Away in its 100 metres and getting a good start. It was Butler on the inside. Whittaker running well, and on the outside of Butler it's Hobbs, but getting to lead. Ashley Whittaker and Butler battling it out, and they'll cross the line. 11:64 unofficially for Ashley Whittaker, and she defeats Hayley Butler in the third heat of the women's 100-metre sprint.
And the unofficial time there, or official time 11:63 with a plus 1.1 from our Matt Lynch win gauge down there, and hopefully Matt will be able to get Ash Whittaker. We haven't had Ash on the live stream. It'd be great to have her across.
She loves the live stream, I've heard.
Well, who doesn't? Find me a person who doesn't love the iStream. I was going to say the live stream. And yep, fair enough. For the first time ever, down trackside is the winner of that third heat in the 100 metres. It is Ash Whittaker from Victoria.
Thank you, Mossy. We are with Ash, winner of the third heat. Talk us through the conditions. How was the race?
I mean, it registered as a +1 tailwind, but it definitely was a headwind. So, considering I thought it was a headwind, pretty happy with the time. So, just had to get through.
Yeah, semis tomorrow?
Yeah, hopefully go a bit faster in the semis. Looking to try and I've been really close to my PBs the last few runs, so hoping to get that time down.
Excellent. Well, I'll let you go warm down for the semi. Back up to you, Mossy and Wormy. Thank you.
Thanks very much down there, trackside Lynchy, with the winner of that third heat of the women's 100-metre sprint. The men's 100-metre not too far away.
We've got more heats of the women's 100 metres, do we?
Toya Whistle still to come, my friend.
Whoa, the Queenslander. Where's she from?
Port Moresby, which is in Queensland. Obviously, lane 2, Stephanie Pollard from the ACT. There she is. Lane 3, Toya Whistle from Queensland. In lane 4 from WA is Emily Longo. In lane 5 from New South Wales is Sam Geddes. In lane 6, Kayla Montana from Queensland. In lane 7 from Victoria is Sophia Viguero. In lane 8, Livy Wilson from New Zealand. And in lane 9 from New South Wales, Larissa Pastanaski.
Thank you, Silas Moss. And
you got my name right.
I got your name right. That's good. My name's Oliver Worm. Your name's Silas Moss. Matthew Lynch.
What's Lynchy's middle name? What's your middle name, Lynchy?
James. It's a classic.
Matt James Lynch. I don't have one. They just
you don't have one
for Silas Moss.
I've got two. Oliver Guy, Sinclair Worm, they're mine. You can have one of mine, mate.
I was going to say I'll have one, but I won't have either.
Do you want Guy or Sinclair? Which one would you prefer?
I've got a cousin Guy, and yeah.
Take Guy, and that's a bit of family
Silas
transfer
Sinclair
to you.
Moss.
Silas Sinclair Moss.
I like the sound of that.
Yeah.
SSM.
Ooh. SSM.
You're a great man of the track, Lynchy, and the field, but also of the words. That's why you are, as Ollie said, a great atlas.
A great atlas. He's a great atlas. He knows what's going on.
You call me Mr. Atlas.
Well, you know where everything is around Australia.
Well, okay, yep.
And the world.
And the world, of course.
And of course, you know, the athletes of the world, their PBs, their stats, and he knows a lot of quirky facts as well. Would I like Lynchy? You know, some things that we may not know, but a lot of things we do want to know. As the athletes go into the fourth heat of the women's 100 metres, and Toa Whistle the one to watch. And Sam Geddes should be right up there in the finish. Away in our fourth heat of the 100 metres, and Toa Whistle gets a great start. On the inside, Sam Geddes running well, and on the outside, Figueira and the New Zealander. But no doubt about our winner, Toa Whistle, bang, 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 11.67, takes out the fourth heat.
And Matt Lynch will be getting Toya Whistle on the live stream. Yeah, just let him get across there to Toya and get a few words for the Queen of the Pacific. She's done a hell of a lot in her time on track. Her PB of 100 is 11.41 into a headwind.
And for the shot put, what's the PB for the shot put?
Shot put, I reckon it's about 10.28.
There you go. She's done a bit of shot in her time.
Well, she's been to Commonwealth Games at New Delhi, Glasgow, and Melbourne as well. So 3 times across there, and the London Olympics where she came fourth in her heat. And she's a bit of a legend, Toya, and she's trackside now with Matt Lynch.
Thank you. We're here with the winner of the fourth heat. How are those conditions out there today? We've been hearing a bit of tailwind, bit of headwind, and not too sure.
I don't know about my heat, but I'm happy with my race. So I'll make it to semifinals, and looking forward for tomorrow and see how things goes.
Excellent. So semi-final. What are you going to do now between now and the semi-final tomorrow?
Well, at the moment, I'm trying to do my best to make a finals for tomorrow evening. So, need to go back and concentrate on semi-finals tomorrow and see how things go.
Excellent. Thank you very much to Toya Whistle, winner of the women's fourth heat in the 100 metres.
Thanks very much, Lynchy. Trackside there with Toya Whistle. And one of your best there, mate. That's a man on the ground. He's unfortunately Robbo-less if you've just joined us, but Robbo, his wife Gabby, had a baby girl this afternoon, so that's Robbo surrounded by the girls. Grace getting a younger sister, Emma, now, so fantastic. There he is, Robbo on the right. If you're missing your Robbo hit, well, there he is. He's on screen. And, plenty of action still to come here. We do have the men's 100 metres. Those boys are starting to come out now as well. They're the next ones on the event. And we have some finals coming up at 6:55, the first of our wheelchair finals. 400-metre wheelchair for the men and women, and then the 400 ambulant finals for both the men and the women as well. And 7:20, the last event on our schedule tonight, will be the men's 400-metre semi-finals as well. And if you haven't had enough by that time, of course you can go and watch the replay again and again on YouTube, or come back tomorrow where we'll be going through more action here at the 93rd Australian Athletics Championship.
Indeed, and Lynchy, if you're down there listening, we had an experience yesterday with the pole vaulters, the life of a pole vaulter, actually travelling with the pole vaulters. They had to check in their poles, wait from the other end, then attach them to their car they got to hire, and we were a part of it, Lynchy.
Yeah, no, we got to experience the life of the pole vaulter firsthand. It's probably lucky we're there because they had 3 separate bags, so they carried one each, but me and you, Wormy, we just carried one together. Get it on the roof, helped pack it up. It's a tough life. I know they do have a little bit of trouble trying to get those poles shipped, and whether they actually turn up on time or where you pick them up from. So, especially when they go overseas in Europe, I do remember Steve Hooker used to fly around to all the different meets, but he had his coach at the time, Alex Parnov. He actually drove around everywhere. So, poor coach drives the truck around Europe while Steve Hooker lives the high life and gets to fly everywhere.
Sounds a bit like you, Lynch. You live the high life, get to fly everywhere, whilst the VPA Live production crew, well, they've got to take the van all the way around the country.
Yeah, they've been doing the big tour. They've driven to everywhere. At least we don't have to go to Perth again. That was probably quite a big trip for the boys across the Nullarbor in the VPA van.
Absolutely. And we have the men's 100-metre coming up now. You can see the guys there. Here's the start list for the first heat. Karoo from Victoria, Kamura's from Victoria in lane 4. Well, that's the 400-metre one. We'll come back to that. But that's going to be a good one too later on.
That will. And I've got to say, Lynchy, you knew how to handle the pole, I'll tell you that.
Oh, thank you very much, Wormy.
Here we go. Lane 2 for the first of the men's 100 metres. It's Long Scafidi from South Australia. Debonati from Victoria. Telltale, where are we from? What's PLW? Inform me, gents.
Palau.
Palau, there you go.
He was actually the flag bearer, I think, at Glasgow for Palau.
Perfect. Kawatsura from Japan. Connor Miami from New South Wales. Jaworski from New South Wales. Despard, Jake Lynch, and Matt Carter from Victoria. In lane 9, Lynchy, any relation?
No, but I do like how if you cross the lanes 10 and 9, it says Matt Lynch. So I'm out there in spirit.
Oh, very good. Very clever. Not just an atlas.
Not just an atlas.
That one down. You're not going to leave
More
that
than atlas, we could say.
That's right.
But these boys lining up, and Connor Manyani, some interesting names here. Kawatsura from Japan, and we've got later up coming out heats. I'm going to need some help with the Fijian athlete Lynchy, so I'm going to get you to sub in every time I call his name. You're going to pronounce it for me.
That's all right. I'll leave my mic on for you guys. Michael Konamanyi. He's a New South Wales athlete, and I'm not sure of the Japanese name. I'll wait for it to come up on the scoreboard, but I'll leave my mic on.
Kawatsura.
I did Japanese for 2 years, so I'm obviously an expert in Japanese now.
You certainly are an expert, and
I like how you change your accent too when you're doing the Japanese in person.
Well, I'm an atlas. I'm an
Not
atlas.
you, no, I'm talking to Ollie Worm here.
Oh, well, you know, he's just experiencing the local culture of each athlete that turns up.
I like to get enriched in the culture and feel like I'm actually, you know, when I'm talking about the Japanese, I am from Japan.
Well, should we go Ollie Worm?
Well, yeah, that's my German pronunciation of my last name, indeed.
Yeah, and
Guten Tag.
The Spanish pronunciation of my first name, Silas.
Silas Moss.
Silas Moss. He's always the bad guy in all the movies. I don't know if you know.
But you're a good bloke.
Reckon?
Yep.
I'll be in the top 3 on the team, that's for sure.
Yeah, it's fair.
See one of our competitors here. Just launching one out. That one going touch over the 40-metre mark. Of course, plenty of action going on in the field. That's the javelin throw, the Pool A of the men's decathlon. And plenty of action still to come. So the men's 100 metres. Then we've got the wheelies rolling out for the 400. That's a final of the men's and women. So stick around for that, and we can see Clark here. And he'll be launching this one out here. Tell you what, you've got to have a fair bit of grunt there, those officials, don't they, in the javelin? They're unbelievable stuff. What do you reckon, mate? Would you put yourself out there in the middle?
I'd be scared, actually, being out there being an official. I wouldn't turn over my on throwing the jav. You've got to be on your game, always alert. Always got to be alert in every aspect of life, Mossy, whether it be being an official out there or on the track or just out in general everyday life, walking down the street, you've got to be alert.
And you are one man who's very alert in many aspects of life, that indeed. So,
yes.
Lynchy, that win, mate, what's been happening with it?
It's actually settled down a little bit, but yeah, just before the boys came out, it gusted around, but those blue flags, that's my gauge at the moment, and it is a little bit swirly. Hopefully tomorrow we get a consistent wind, but as I say that, the wind just picks up right behind me. I'm facing down the track again, so I feel like it will come up as a headwind, but in such a big stadium like this, I think it just gets a little bit caught in. There's so many places for it to come in, and it just sort of swirls around. Let's hope we see a nice tailie for the boys, and again, it just gusted for a big headwind. I think that's what we're going to get stuck with tonight.
Yep, some quick boys lining up here in the first heat of the men's 100 metres, and the crowd really starting to build here, which is great to see. This is actually a massive stadium, and a lot of seats to be filled. Obviously, a lot of NRL games played here, but
back in the day, mate, they don't play them anymore.
They don't play them here anymore. There you go.
No, over at Lang Park, or Suncorp Stadium as it's known. But this was the home of the Brisbane Broncos when they first came into the competition. I think they still play football, or some call it soccer here. One of the
the Brisbane Roar.
The Brisbane Roar female team. They play here. and train here. So, yeah, it's a great-looking track, though, that's for sure.
It is, and let's hope we can see some great performances here tonight on the track. Those men's 400-metre semi-finals coming up. Looking forward to them. 8 spots in the final, and we've got 24 men to go to battle in those semi-finals. Should be an absolute cracker. And on the track now, we've got our first heat of the men's 100 metres, and going to be a great battle over the 100-metre trip. We see them zoom in on Matt Lynch's cousin, Matt Lynch. Sorry, Jake Lynch. No, they're not cousins, but could be related in some way.
They have to be somewhere along the line, surely. You can trace it back, Lynchy.
I don't know how far we'd have to go back to get that one.
17.
Away in this 100 metres, off to a good start. Jaworski running well as Karasura from Japan. It's Karasura getting to the lead. Jaworski running well, but it's our international visitor from Japan, Kawatsura, 10.72 unofficially in the men's 100 metre, the first heat.
Yes, and we'll hopefully get to hear from him trackside.
And Matt Lynch is going to interview him, so let's hope he can speak a bit of English down there, because Matt Lynch is going to get Kawatsura down. It's what the people want to see.
That's what we've come to expect from Lynchy. We know Robbo would do it. Here we go, Lynchy looking good. I have to say, Lynchy's heart is slightly in his throat at the moment. And here we go. We will go trackside with
speak English. Yeah, that's okay. That's fine.
with Matt Lynch.
Thank you guys up there. Congratulations. Well done in your race. How did you feel when you were running?
Not hot. Good condition.
Excellent work. Back tomorrow for the final?
Okay. Final, I go champion.
There we go. You heard it first. Champion here.
He's a champion.
He's going to win the final tomorrow. You heard it, guys,
That's right,
on the stream.
Kawatsura, we love you.
He's a champion, all right.
Yeah.
Well done there, Matt Lynch on the sideline.
We really set Lynchy up for failure there, didn't we? But
here we go. Who have we got here from New South Wales? We've got Baskin, Matrevsky from Victoria, William Swain and Stubbs, both from Queensland. Lane 6 will be Gilroy from Tasmania. Lane 7, Bennett. Rowan Browning, the young gun from New South Wales, in lane 8. Bedford from Queensland, and Alex Hartman, who is a flyer. He was a finalist last year in the 100 metres in the Nationals, and he's one of the fastest over 200 metres so far this year. He'll be hard to beat in this one. It'll be interesting to see how Rowan Browning does as well, the young New South Welshman.
And a couple of stall gift winners in this, Mitchell, William Swain, Aaron Stubbs. So they've won a bit of prize money in their time, and they may well be descending on Central Park next week for the Woolworths stall gift that's coming up, and first time equal prize money for the men and women. So just got a tweet, Dave Robbo. We'll see if we can get it up for you guys shortly, but
he says, sounding red hot, boys. And he says, Emma says, cheers for the shout out, only 6 hours old and already cracked it on the stream. And what I want to know, Robbo, is where's the headband, my friend? We'll see if we can get that picture up. That'd be really good for the guys from VPA Live. They've never let us down in the past, and I'm sure they won't be now. We can see another one of our decathletes throwing out the jab there, and the next event we'll be covering, you see the expansive stadium here, the QE2 Stadium, as part of the Queensland Sport and Athletics Centre. You can see the guys there, and on the far left of screen with the 8 on his shirt is Alexander Hartman, local boy. Rowan Brown with the black as well. There's plenty of other competitors here. Stubbs, Bennett, could be a whole bunch of them, but I'd predict this one will be Hartman in a canter.
Well, there's a few good athletes. Rowan Browning as well. We've seen him run quick over the Australian season, so we're going into their blocks for this 100 metres. It's heat 2 of the men's open sprint. Wind is really swirling here. Looks like Aaron Stubbs is a scratching. away in this 100 metres. Off to a good start. It was Browning running well on the outside. It's Hartman who really starts to get into his running. And on the outside, Alex Hartman takes this heat 10.61 unofficially, the second heat of the men's 100 metre open.
Oh, this is perfect. You see there, he almost ran straight to Lynchy. Almost there. Lynchy should have put the mic straight in his mouth, mate, there. But, yeah, another easy win of the tour for Alex Hartman. He'll just go across and shake his fellow compadres in that 100-metre event. And, we will get a word from Alex in just a moment. Probably one of Lynchy's easier interviews in the last 5 minutes. I'm sure he'd be happy to have that.
Yeah, he nearly ran straight at me, and I'm glad there's a bit of concrete just at the end here, so it's a bit dangerous for these, but I'm going to go grab Alex and we'll have a chat.
Perfect. Well done there, Lynchy. And I just... we see a few of our other, you see there in the top of the screen there, javelin going up. Look at that one, almost went completely straight up in the air, just landed down. And trackside with Lynchy is the winner of that heat in the men's 100 metres, Alexander Hartman.
No, I didn't win that one. Mossy, Alex won that. Tough work out on the outside, especially with this bit of concrete at the end. You had to put the brakes on, but good to get that one out of the way.
Absolutely, mate. I mean, it felt pretty good. Had a decent start and just relaxed, which is really what I wanted to do. And
minus 1.1, I think they said out there. How do the wind conditions feel?
I didn't really feel it, to be honest. I was just too focused on the job at hand and to come through and get the win in the heats. With it.
And you're going to be doing the 200 this weekend as well. It could be a big weekend for you.
Absolutely. I cannot wait for it.
Excellent. Well, there is Alex Hartman, winner of Heat 2 in the men's 100 metres.
Thank you.
Perfect. Matt Lynch, trackside there with Alexander Hartman. Looks like we've only got a few competitors in this final one. In fact, 3. No, there's plenty more.
Yeah,
plenty of blocks there, isn't there, mate? Yes, as the competitors warming up, you can see Josh Clark there. You can see... Why don't we just go to Twitter?
What do we got here?
We have a very, very special guest indeed. We're just going to hold you on hold you back there. Hold your horses, people, because it's coming very soon.
Stop the press. Stop the press.
Stop the press, people. We have Twitter.
How much has Twitter changed this day and age, Mossy?
It has changed everything. And if you would like to join in the conversation, hashtag Summer of Aths. And just tell us your thoughts. What are you thinking so far? The men's 100, the women's 100. Who you're picking for the final? The men's 100 is always going to be an interesting one. It's a handful of competitors could take it out. You see Trey Williams is one to watch, is undoubtedly. The man Josh Clark, you can see him sort of in the all-white strip there. He'll be coming out of lane 4. Be very, very clever indeed. There we go. Sounding red hot, boys. MSS cheers for the shout out. Only 6 hours old and already cracked it on the live stream. Brilliant stuff there, guys. And why don't we start a bit of love for Robbo?
He's a legend.
Why don't we start a bit of love for Robbo out there and on the hashtag Summer of Aths and tell us what you love about Robbo?
I shouldn't be wearing a curly head wig and a headband down here.
You should be. Well, we're threatening to get Brett Watton, which we will at some stage surely, with a headband on, and we'll throw him amongst the action. You can see here the starting lineup for the men's 100-metre heat. 3, Walson from Queensland, Anthony Collum from New South Wales. Lane 4, Joshua Clark from New South Wales. Lane 5, Isaac and Tiamoa from New South Wales. Those two will be the ones to watch undoubtedly. In lane 6 from Queensland, Donovan. Lane 7 is Musgrave from Queensland. Davies out of lane 8 from Queensland. In lane 9 is James Woodgate. And lane 10 from Queensland, Jordan Render.
Big surprise here. Matt Davies out on the track. First time we've seen Davies, I think, this year. So that would be interesting to see what kind of shape he's in. This is a pretty stacked heat.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, we haven't seen him for a while, so good to see him out there. And Josh Clark, isn't he an impressive athlete? Just gets out there, gets the job done, and almost hops straight in the car and see you later. That's the sort of bloke he is.
This could be 1-2 in the final here. Josh Clark and Isaac and Tiamoa, 2 of them probably class athletes in the entire field, and they've drawn lanes next to each other. So keep an eye on those guys.
Just lane 2, Isaac Walson. Relation to Darryl Walson, perhaps?
Not too sure. I know he's a bit of a pro runner. But I'll chuck it up to you, Wormy. Call the race.
Thanks, Lynchy.
Clark from Tiamoa for mine.
Clark got an absolute flyer in that 100 metres, and look at him go. NTMO trying to get with him, and Davies on the outside. But Josh Clark, this is super impressive in the 100 metres. Switches off, 10:49. You will not see an easier 10:49 from Josh Clark.
Excuse me?
He's looking good. Wow.
Plus 1.0 for the wind. I'm going to have to go get Josh Clark.
Oh, my goodness.
10:44.
10:44.
The big round down for the big fella.
Oh.
That was impressive.
Wow.
Almost walked after that.
My goodness. My goodness.
He got away extremely well in that 100 metres, got to about the 60 or 70 metre mark, and then just switched off in that race. But in the final, if he can produce that sort of start again, an absolute flyer, and really turn it on.
I'm just going to throw it trackside now to Matt Lynch with the man of the moment, Josh Clark.
Impressive.
Thank you very much. That was a great run, cracking start. And where do you think you switched it off then?
I'm not really sure, to be honest. I just wanted to get out well, get out strong, get a smooth drive in, and then just check where I was and just play it by ear. So didn't really have anything in mind, but yeah, no, just...
Excellent. We might cut to the replay on here and talk us through just a bit of a crack field there. You've got Isaac on the inside as well, who really could put you under pressure towards the end of the race. But what's going through your mind as we get down onto our marks?
Just, the only thing I'm thinking about is split my arms. As soon as I hit the gun, move my arms, and everything else will just follow from that.
Excellent. We'd be nice to see some reaction times on those blocks. I think you've got really close there, but getting through that transition and really just starting to switch it off towards the end.
Yeah, as I said, just wanted to just tick the boxes, I guess. Just do what I had to do and try and get through with as little fuss, I guess.
Excellent. Well, thank you very much, Josh. Good luck in the final and the semi tomorrow.
Thank you so much.
Brilliant stuff there. Josh Clark. My goodness. And look at that. He switched off with 40 to go. He's got that very unique style, very sort of upright, a lot of hip flexor in the action, and just switched it off with what was it, 10:44, was it?
10:44, as easy as you like.
Amazing stuff there. We've still got plenty of action to go here. Don't forget the finals of the wheelies, 400 metres coming up shortly, and the ambulant 400 metres. Our para athletes supreme tonight. Plenty of action across the whole weekend. Here is Heat 4 of the men's 100 metres. In lane 2 from Queensland, it's Benjamin Hayward. Lane 3 from Victoria, Will Johns. In lane 4 from Papua New Guinea is Wesley Logarava. In lane 5, it's Matthew Bartico from Victoria. In lane 6, it's Bradley Edwards from Queensland.
In lane 7, we've got Banuve
Tambukathoro.
Yeah, that's pretty close. Banuve Tambakatoro.
I'm happy with that. Lane 8, Mitch Felsman from Queensland. Lane 9, Kazuya Maruta from Japan. And in lane 10, from New Zealand, it's Cody Horman. That was a bit Scottish, I think. Tambakatoro. What is that? What it is, Lynch?
Lynchy, what can you tell me about Banuve?
Honestly, I think we're going to have a good chat with Banuve after this. He won Melbourne World Challenge last weekend, and I've got a good feeling he's going to take this out as well, and we'll probably have a chat to him, and maybe he can tell us how to pronounce it. But I've had my Fijian friends at home. Banuve Tambakatoro.
He second at last year's Nationals.
That is right. Just got pipped by Tim Leithart, so... Yeah. He's a very talented runner. I got a PB of around 10:30, I think it is. So he's very, very handy.
Well, we look forward to seeing Banuve Bum Takorotoro. Can't do it.
You can't do it. You should stop.
I should stop. Lynchy, you should carry me home here, because so ready to go in the 4th heat of this 100 metres. And Banuve, the one to watch from lane 7. And the athletes just standing up. Bit of unsettledness down in our 4th heat of the men's 100 metre open. And it is hard to pronounce some of these Fijian names, but I'll leave that to the experts.
The thing is, you're doing it the Fijian way, and that's what we're after. Those B's with a everyone knows. Bulla is mbula. Bulla. which is g'day, pretty much in Fijian for everyone who's been to Fiji.
Yeah, and those C's are a TH.
That's why with the rugby league, Petro Sivanasiva, well, traditionally it is Petro Sivanasiva. You see Benuve in lane 7 there. Tombakathoro.
Very nice.
Away in this 100 metres, and Benuve got a fantastic start, running well on the inside of Patako, but Benuve, the Fijian, I'll let Lynchy pronounce his last name and interview him. 10:44 unofficially, easy as you like.
Yeah.
And Lynchy, grab Benuve down there, please.
I'm off.
Nice and fast there. Another unofficial 10:44. Tombakathoro there with a 10:41 out of lane 7.
It's a bloody tough last name.
And you can see the guys there, very happy to have things done. Haywood there, a little bit limpy. But, we don't have him trackside yet, but Lynchy's on the money. He'll get Benuve across. You can see him there. He's a bit of a man mountain. He's built for the sprints. He's going to come straight across to Matt Lynch. So Lynch will be having a chat with the winner of that heat, Benuve Tombakathoro.
Thank you, guys. We are here with Benuve Tombakathoro. Talk us through that race. You got out pretty well and really took control of it.
Yeah, well, today was just a blowout session, just trying to get out of there and just, run as quick as I can. Easing off in that last 10, but that's mainly what my coach and I were doing.
Yeah, so you came second last year at the championships by, I think it was 0-1 from Tim Leithart. Tim Leithart's not here this year, so you might be able to take it out.
Yeah, that's pretty disappointing. I was really looking forward to going up against Tim this year. So, but we have a few other runners here from Japan and New Zealand as well, so it'll be pretty tough.
It's a big Pacific Nations battle out there. I'll let you go, warm down, and good luck in the semi and the final.
Thank you very much.
Great to hear from Tombakathoro, and just a little blowout for the Fijian, but that was very impressive, almost as impressive as Josh Clark, but not quite. I think I've got it, Mossy. Tombakathoro.
You got it. That's right. Here we go. Heat 5 of the men's 100-metre preliminaries here. Lane 2 from New South Wales, Jake Hammond. Lane 3, Alex Howden from New Zealand. In lane 4, Aaron Breslin from Western Australia. Lane 5 from New South Wales is Jin Soo Jung. Lane 6, it's our man Tommy Connolly from Queensland.
Trying to do the hammer throw, but he got denied.
Lane 7, Khan Ma from Victoria. Lane 8, Gary Finnegan from Queensland. And lane 9 will be Jordan Caldo from Queensland. Look for the man in lane 5, Jin Soo Jung, to take this one out. He was the bronze medalist at last year's Nationals. He finished 5th. We had Benuve there coming in 2nd, so obviously they bump him down and down. So he was 3rd. Unfortunately didn't get to compete at Glasgow last year. Got a hamstring injury at training in Gateshead, so he'll be looking forward to continue his rich vein of form. You can see Jin Sun in the yellow headband. There we go, giving his man a high five. And one thing to look for with Jin Soo Jung is the massive thigh slap that goes to the right and left thigh as he comes into the block. So look out for that one.
Yeah, this is a great field. We saw Breslin actually run a great race at the Jundakot City Track Classic. Tommy Connolly, one of our all-time great friends, he was looking to line up in the hammer throw but didn't quite get entry. Khan Ma also has represented Jamaica as a junior, so he's really one to watch.
What do you reckon, Lynchy? You're good mates with Tommy. Is he looking in good condition?
Yeah, well,
Be honest.
I would like to see him run against James Grimm, good mates, and Tommy's been geeing it up. He actually posted on Jin's wall the other day, I've been staring at this photo of you from the Hunter Track Classic all year, and all I want to do is take your scalp.
Well, he's got his opportunity now, Tommy. He's never short of words. Very confident man, and we love you, Tommy. I know you'll be watching the replay over and over. And we've still got more heats to come. Lots of competitors here. The men's 100 metres as the guys enter the blocks for Heat 5.
In the starters' hands for Heat 5, and great to get some insight of our athletes, and Tommy Connolly, the Queenslander. Can he sneak through? Some good runners on their day in this men's 100 metres. And away cleanly this time. Khan Ma got a great start. Breslin from Western Australia into his running. Right next to him is Jinsu Jung and Khan Ma. Breslin gets the lead from Western Australia, and Breslin takes it out 10.72 unofficially from Jinsu Jung, and Khan Ma from Victoria looked very impressive in third. 10.56 the time has been rounded down to, so a big round down for the West Australian Aaron Breslin.
Yeah, it's great stuff there by Breslin. We didn't talk about him into the lead-up. I guess we were caught up in having fun talking about Tommy Connolly, but Jinsu Jung there as well, just taking it easy. They'll be moving forward as well. See their little handshake. Unfortunately, Tommy, you won't be on the stream anymore. It's your last opportunity.
Tommy wants to be
there. He is.
Closer.
He's everywhere. And we're going to be having a chat now. We'll throw trackside now, and it is Aaron Breslin who's with Matt Lynch.
Yeah, Aaron, pretty handy run there, 10.56, I think, into a minus 1.1. Feel good to blow the cobwebs out?
Yeah, it was really good. I was a bit worried that I was still a bit clogged up. That felt really good. There's a lot left in the tank, so it's great.
Excellent. So it is a big long flight over here from WA. A lot of people do it. So, yeah, you feel good for that semi in the final tomorrow?
Yeah, we'll definitely get up for it. You know, just each day just get better. We'll be ready.
All right, excellent. I'll let you go and warm down, and good luck, mate.
Thanks.
Yes, thanks very much, Lynchy there, trackside with Breslin. And we do have another of our heats will be coming up. We'll show that in a moment. The starting lineup. You see the guys just warming up. Here we go. Lane 2, the big boy from Queensland, Nicholas Boylett. Lane 3, Mitchell Pateman from New South Wales. I like this one. Lane 4 from New South Wales, James Grimm. Lane 5 from Queensland, Andrew McCabe. Dante Falzarano from New South Wales. This guy's got to be one of the favourites, that's for sure. Lane 7, Trey Williams from Queensland. Blast from the past, one of the Hunter boys there, formerly coached by Tony Fairweather, is lane 8, Liam Gander, representing Queensland. Hamish Gull from New Zealand in lane 9, and in lane 10, also from New Zealand, is Michael Goldie.
Yeah, we know what Trey Williams can do, especially in that first 40 metres. We saw him run a great 200 metres into a 5.6 metre headwind. So Trey Williams, really one to watch here. I think he'll get a good start and be too strong for them. A couple of New Zealanders making the trip across the Pacific. But Trey Williams, watch him get away well and probably just hold on.
Righto, Lynchy, who are you going to be interviewing after this one, mate? What do you reckon?
Mate, if it was a 10-metre race, I'm definitely interviewing Trey. But I think he'll do enough to hold on. He's the form runner. McCabe's been running pretty well lately as well. But, yeah, I think we're going to look for, lanes 5 and 7. That's where it's going to come from. And actually, Boylett. Didn't say Boylett on the inside there. He has got a 10.4 to his name. He'll come late. But, watch for Trey to get out super fast, super early, and just really put the pressure on the other boys. As you can see there, the biggest quads in the game, and he nearly jumped out of the screen.
And Liam Gander to the left there. You're looking forward. He was one of the fastest in the country just a few years ago. For a while, be interested to see how he goes. And next to Trey Williams, as you said, they're the biggest quads in the business.
Away in this 100. Good start, Trey Williams. What a start he got. They're coming from left, right and centre. Boylett sneaks up on the inside, but Trey Williams finish takes out this 100 metres. What a run. He's strong.
Very, very strong by Trey Williams. Sensational stuff. Well, it came home hard. I'm not sure who was on the inside. Was it McCabe? He came second, but just brilliant stuff there by Williams. On his home track, always makes it a little bit easier. much more familiar and comfortable in this vicinity. And you can see there, he's got the hairdo, he's got just about everything. And Matty Lynch will have a chat with him. It's part of the duties now, Trey. And trackside right now with the winner of that final heat in the men's 100 metres is Matt Lynch with Trey Williams.
Thank you. Yes, we are with Trey Williams taking it out a minus 0.1. Not too bad, but as you did, you got out pretty well early and put the pressure on the other guys.
Yeah, it felt like a good race. Good out of the start really well, so to hold it on, just get through top 3, just get to the semi.
How's your body holding together? You had a pretty long season. You've been running fast times all the way back since December and before that. How's it feeling now that we're at the Open Champs?
Yeah, no, it's all coming together now. Other runs are just warm up to this, so hopefully we can get a good time here.
Excellent. Well, good luck. There's some good competition out there, but we'll see you tomorrow.
Thank you.
And the semi-finals will be tomorrow at 6:05. So tune in on the live stream, 6:05 for the semi-finals of the men's 100 metres. And the finals will be on tomorrow night as well. We have got a feast of finals coming at you tomorrow night. The women's jav, the men's 8, the women's 15, the men's 3, the women's and men's 100s, and the men's and women's 400s. It is going to be Super Saturday at the 93rd Australian Athletics Championship.
No doubt about that, Mossy, and crowd sticking around. Still some action to come tonight. We're going to be here till around 7:30, concluding with the semi-finals of the men's 400 metres. And conditions out here, just the wind picking up a touch, but they could get a nice tailwind down the back straight for the forerunners. So interesting to see how the the semi-finals of these 400 metres unfold.
And proceedings just coming to a lull at the moment. But yes, as I said, plenty of action still to come.
Don't go away.
Don't go anywhere.
Don't you dare leave.
If you're going away, take your device with you.
Exactly, yeah. These day and age, you can watch the live stream anywhere. You can be on a date, on your phone watching. You can be in the car, watching on your iPad. You can be at home on the desktop. You can be on a boat somewhere, just tuning in. Anywhere you are, really.
You could be surfing in the Maldives.
Oh, you could, couldn't you?
I'd like to be, just quietly.
Maybe after this May, you get a nice holiday.
All expenses paid, thanks to Ollie Worm.
I don't think I've got anything to give you, mate, but see what I can do.
And QE2 Stadium here. We love our Queenslanders. Look down there. There he is, Matt Lynch.
Does he think he's a cameraman, does he?
He can do anything. Absolutely anything.
You know how to handle it. Look at him. He's a pro.
Maybe we could get a split screen of Lynchy looking at us and us looking at Lynchy.
That'd be pretty cool.
Well, mate, we're putting it on VPA Live. Can they do it? Have they got that ability?
I'll tell you what, though, VPA are the best in the business.
Oh, there we go. Oh, no, they've got it. Oh, perfect.
Lynchy!
That's
Lynchy! It's me!
Lynchy. Zoom in, Lynch.
How are you,
Come
mate?
on.
I haven't got that many hands. There it is.
Oh, you are a legend.
I keep wanting to look at myself, but I can see you down there.
Yes, brilliant stuff here. Matt Lynch.
It's like Inception.
What was that, mate?
It's a little bit like Inception.
Please explain.
Picture in picture in picture. Like a dream within a dream.
Ah, very good. Like a lynch within a lynch.
That's everyone's dream.
A moss and a moss, and a worm and a worm. No, don't go away. We've got plenty of events coming up. We've got the 400-metre wheelchair events, the ambulant as well, and then also the 400-metre men's semi-finals. So we'll try to update you on the men's long jump as soon as possible.
And for everyone, stick around. We'll just throw an ad now, but stick around here for the 93rd Australian Athletics Championships. Finals still to come, and of course the semi-finals of the men's 400 metres as well. And we'll speak to you in just a moment. Yes, welcome back here to the 93rd Australian Athletics Championship from the Queensland Sport and Athletics Centre. It's part of a greater precinct here, and we are at the QE2 Stadium, the home of the 1982 Brisbane Commonwealth Games.
And Mossy, we're not too far from some of our cracking events tonight, the men's semi-finals for the 400 metres. I know the Carew family at home getting ready to watch their son, Alex Carew. Peter Carew, one of the legends of the sport. He loves athletics, loves getting around it, and they'll be watching at home in Camberwell. So let's hope Alex can sneak a spot in the final of the men's 400 metres. And if you are at home watching this event, get around us on social media.
Oh, hang about.
Someone's got some food down there. I'm a bit peckish up here.
They got food.
I'm starving.
We're up here in the commentary box doing it hard. Lynchy down there. Couple of interviews on the side.
Mate, I heard you chewing last time when you were talking.
What are you talking
You've got
about?
Something to eat up there.
No, that was the producer.
Lynchy,
No,
I haven't eaten
this
for a
looks
while,
really
mate.
good. We've got chips. It looks like a green chicken curry, a bit of a salad.
What?
So I might shoot off there for a little bit, have a bite to eat, and I'll leave you guys to it.
Lynchy, I'm wasting away up here while you're eating a curry.
Oh,
I'm starving.
Fair dinkum.
Spewing.
I am wasting away. There's going to be nothing left of me soon.
Oh, it looks good.
Unbelievable
right.
stuff.
Mossy, we'll go get dinner later, mate.
Where do you want to have dinner tonight, mate? Will we somewhere in Queensland because we love Queensland?
I'm not sure, but I'll tell you what, I had a massage today, and it ended up being $7. The rebate I got from my private health went from $40 down to $7. I was pretty chuffed.
It all happens here in Queensland. They take care of everything.
Yep, that's the advantage of having private health. You pay, obviously, a fortnightly fee, but my fee today basically covered my weekly coverage of the private health care. But I might have another one tomorrow morning, and we're going to be here till Sunday. Of course, on Sunday night, the athletes will let their hair down a little bit, perhaps have a few drinks, whether it be a soft drink, a few chicken curries, some soft drinks. You never know what else might end up around, but the athletes have worked hard all season. A lot of them do sacrifice a lot, whether it be, not drinking alcohol or being perhaps a bit not going out as much as their friends would, going to the nightlife, but they make the sacrifices all for this, and ideally everything comes together for them at the Australian Championships, and they get a season's best or a personal best, and that's all you can really hope for. So let's hope all the athletes here this weekend get everything that they wish for on and off the track. And Brisbane's really putting on a great show, and we can see some of the Jav boys out there. We've got the men's 400 metre wheelchair event on very shortly. And also some of our 400 metre ambulant, and then the 400 metre men's semi-finals, and then that'll be it for this evening. Oh, Lynchy, for goodness sake. What is it? Are they chips?
Yeah, chips and green curry.
Oh my God, this is absolute joke. I'm starving.
Yeah. And look, Cheech in the background. Yeah, doing it easy. The boys.
This is unfair. Oh, well. I reckon we go for a nice
Listen, if Robbo was here, this wouldn't be happening.
He'd be sharing it. He'd split it into fours and go, here we go, boys.
You know what?
Don't put that on me, guys. Come on.
No. If Robbo was here, he'd say, no, I'm not having any. No. See Crowley on the runway, left armour in the javelin. You can see here, this is a final of the men's wheelchair event. Tang in lane 3. Lane 4 is LaChance. Lane 5 is Cameron. Lane 6, Sam Carter. Reed and McCracken out of lane 7. Richie Nicholson out of lane 8. In lane 9 was Jake Lappin, and Rozos, who's in the TF35, I think. I'm not sure. That might have been cut off in lane 2.
And they're just out there having a bit of a wheel, getting warmed up. And good night here. And actually, the wind has died down now, so that's a good sign for all the athletes doing the 400 metres coming up shortly. And
we'll just go down trackside to Lynchy and see how that food's going down there. How's it going, Lynchy?
Give me a second, guys.
You're right, mate. Well, you can
just a big bit of chicken there.
That's right.
But, yeah, no, the wind has definitely settled down a little bit. I'm enjoying it now. It's definitely what you want for those 400 guys. But back when I was doing 400s all those years back, I didn't mind a tailwind down the back straight just to really go out extra hard and set up your race. But I've had a look at this lane draw on the start list for these semis, and it's going to be a cracking race.
Oh.
Hopefully they use nine lanes around the outside, because I don't know who's going to make the final. Some of these are absolutely stacked. We actually have the top 3 ranked 400 runners in the same semi, which is very, very crazy. So that could be 1, 2, 3 in the final, could be 1, 2, 3 in the semi, which it's pretty intense.
Are we going to leave lane 1 free in the John Akibur Memorial Lane, or what's the scenario?
We might save that for the 400 hurdles on Sunday, maybe.
Yeah, fair call. But no, those 400 metre events, that should be a cracker. And second semi-final, there's some good athletes lined up. And look, you're really going to have to run 47 low or maybe even under to get into that final. And there's plenty of guys amongst the money. I'm interested to see what Luke Stevens can do. He's a real young prospect, but you never know what race he's actually going to hit it. He might run a 46.5. He might run a 48. So he's a really interesting athlete to watch. And Beck and Burns, they're always consistent. I reckon they'll be in top 5, no doubt about it. And then there's others who can really step it up and show what they're made of.
And you can see there another one of our competitors. It's in the jab, but it's the men's decathlon. That's Henry there from Pool A. And I can tell you the qualifiers for the women's 100 into the semis. Breen, Whistle, Pearson. And this is in order of qualification time. Whitaker, Butler, Taddeo, Wern, Geddes, Hobbs, Cutmore, Pastanatsky, Graff, Hubbard, Longo, Figueroa, and Tara Hawking, the competitors who go through to the semi-finals, which we'll see tomorrow early evening and then the final tomorrow night. It's so much great action coming at us. And this is the culmination of the two of the guys here. We can see here for the final of the men's 400 metre wheelchair event. And just recovering who's involved here. It's Tang, LaChange, Cameron, Carter, McCracken, Nicholson, Lappin, who is in the outside lane. And we'll just put this one in the hands of none other than Oliver Guy Sinclair Vom.
Thanks, mate. The athlete's in the starter's hands, and we are almost ready to go. The athletes just getting their introductions. And moving up and getting their introductions to the crowd. We're in the starter's hands in this 400 metre wheelchair. And the athletes just out on the track. The officials just making sure all the wheels are behind the line. and away. And the athletes, one lap of this 400-metre wheelchair. And from the outside, Rozos, Tang, Lachane, Cameron, Carter, McCracken, Nicholson and Lappin. So down the back straight, McCracken gets off to a good start. Nicholson on the outside, he's always one who is competitive in these wheelchair events. So as they go through 200, looks like McCracken is doing well. Carter right up there on the outside, Lappin. So they're starting to make their way around the bend, less than 150 metres to go. And it looks like Cameron, one of the local boys, Matthew Cameron, starting to get up on the inside of Carter, and on the outside it's Lappin. Lappin on the outside starts to get to the lead, and Lappin swoops him, and Lappin's going to stretch away, really powering over the line. He's wants another lap, and Lappin takes it out 51.11 unofficially from almost lane 8, which we were calling, well, Mossy was calling. What were you calling it, mate? Lane 8?
The Jess Gooley Avenue, I think.
Jess Gooley Avenue. How good was her run from lane 8 in Melbourne?
Sensational. I'm still pinching myself from it. It was just brilliant. We've been following Jess for some time, and the thing I admire about Jess, she's diminutive, and she's one of our better hurdlers as well, 400-metre hurdles, but on the flat there. And, you know, we called through it, and it was just sensational stuff. We didn't even put her in the frame. And I'll tell you what, she's back, baby.
She's back, as George Costanza would say. And
just crossing the line then, guys, that was Emily Rozos. She was in it was a mixed race there. She was in a female division, so she's taken out the title, Emily.
Brilliant stuff. And just want to go through the qualifiers for tomorrow night's men's 1,500 metres. Fastest qualifier, well, there's two. Josh Wright and Mark C with the 3:45.11. Ryan Gregson, Jeff Risley, Brenton Rowe, Zach Patterson, Collis Birmingham, James Hansen, Martin Mashford, Jack Stapleton, Adrian Plummer, Tom Forthorpe are the competitors who will go through to tomorrow night's final in the men's 1,500 metres. As you can see, a white flag being raised there. And we've got more. This is the final of the women's hammer throw. This is our gold medalist is Lara Nielsen with a 66.37. In second from Queensland was Alex Hulley with a 63.61. And fighting it out for third was Kaysan Hockey from Queensland with a 59.13. And that is our top three. It's Nielsen, Hulley and Hockey, who competed in the women's hammer throw. Unfortunately, guys, we haven't been able to show that because it's been in the track outside, in the warm-up track. So none of the hammer came through. Yeah, it was a PB for Hockey there in third. So what a way to do it, to on the national stage, to get yourself a bronze medal. And that was brilliant, brilliant stuff.
No doubt about it. And can see more athletes coming out. We've got another wheelchair event coming out very shortly, and then the ambulant 400 metres for the men's and women's, and then those mouth-watering semi-finals of the men's and women 400 metres.
And as we do the jab, sticking with the field results here in the men's hammer throw, well, taking out his first ever senior title, Matt Denny from Queensland with 69.15. One of our Japanese visitors, Hiroshi Noguchi, with 65.57. Hugh Peacock from Tasmania. Well, he came third in the event, but he's the silver medalist for Australia with the 63.49. Thanks to New Zealanders Matthew Bloxham for coming across with a 61.96. In fifth place was Costa Kusparis from New South Wales with the 61.39. So that is our top three. Australians, gold medal to Matt Denny, Hugh Peacock with the silver, and Costa Kusparos with the bronze.
I think we've got a bit of extra fact. The Japanese do like coming out here for the hammer throw. It says here the all-comers, so the furthest throw by any nationality in Australia, 82.94 from Koji Mirafushi from Japan. He actually has a doctorate in hammer throw.
Wow.
So Not sure how many people in the world have a doctorate in hammer throw, but he's been a world champion as well previously. He's quite a talented athlete. Big, very, very big man too. From a very special island in Japan where a lot of those inhabitants are quite sizely.
And we've got more qualifiers here for the semi-finals tomorrow for the sprints. Banuve Tambakatoro, Josh Clark, Trey Williams, Aaron Breslin, and this is in order of pace as well. Alex Hartman, Sota Kawutsara, Jinsu Jung, Kazuya Maruta, Hugh Donovan, Andrew McCabe, Ryan Bedford, Ben Jaworski, Jake Hammond, Matthew Batako, Nicholas Boylett, Isaac and Tia Moa, Mitchell Williams-Swain, Jacob Despardo, Harmon, James Grimm, Matt Davies, Christopher Matrevsky, Jordan Caldo, and Rowan Browning are the 24 guys who go through from the preliminaries. They'll go through to the heats later on. And I can see that they've delivered some food here for us, Ollie. No vegetarian options there, though. You'll be able to munch on down.
Are you a veggie, mate?
Oh, I pick and choose, but today I am.
Looks like I've got 2 dishes down here. It's done pretty well. You sure, mate? You don't want to have your dish?
I'll have the chips, the salad, and the roll.
I'll have the chicken. Well, Lynch, I can tell why you're so happy down there. Because
so, Lynchy, we're just going to leave this one in your hands for a little bit of time, mate, while we have our dinner. Thanks, mate.
Oh, thanks, mate. So, you did interview me while I was eating, but what have you got up there? Same thing as us, or have you just completely turned off your microphones?
No, we've got some Spanish entrees here. Some nice paella.
Oh,
and then that's our entree with a nice sparkling mineral water with a touch of lemon.
Grilled barramundi.
Yeah, for the main, a bit of grilled barramundi with some asparagus and a touch of olive oil with a nice lemon from rural Queensland. It's superb.
And a Corsican fennel dressing.
Oh, that sounds delicious. I think. I'm glad you got the rural lemons from Queensland. They make the best lemons.
They do, and the small things really make a dish, and I'm loving it.
Carry on, Lynchy.
Well, as you can see, the lads on the blocks now. This is not sure if it's the heat or the final. I haven't been given a start list for this yet, but this is the para-ambulant 400 metres. And I think it might be the final. We've got Price in lane 2, Pascoe in 3, Goodman in 4, Campbell 5, Harding in 6, Hum in 7, Foster in 8, and Semmons in 9. So like our other para-athletic events, we'll have to wait until we really find out. So it's not just whoever takes line honours in the race, it's whoever gets closest to their own world record. We'll only have a few more races left after this, as we see the boys having their breakouts. So I think we're going to stick with a couple more 400s. We have the semis, the men's 400 coming up, and we'll have the finish of the men's decathlon. That will be, unfortunately, after the live stream finishes for the day, but we will be back tomorrow and we'll give you a heads up about everything that is going on.
Lynchy, I was just thinking back to the men's 100 metres there. There's a blanket over the field in the top 4 or 5. Who are you thinking tomorrow?
Oh, it's Josh Clark. I've been on the Josh Clark train for quite some time. It's starting to get a little bit full. Everyone else is joining on, but I've been there since it was, you know, when you're at Sydney, you might be at Central Station in Sydney and the train gets there early. It might leave in about an hour, but you can get on it early. That's when I got on the Josh Clark train.
The train never gets early in Sydney.
When you get there at Central, it's already there waiting.
Here we go, Rach Mullane coming back to us. Remember early on talking about uni, she said role model student. You can see there. Looks like she's doing a business course up there.
Well, she's sitting at the front of the class, so that's a good start.
Absolutely. Bit of Coke Zero, drink of choice, and the live stream up there. Brilliant stuff, Rach. And they didn't have this stuff when I was at uni. They only just had computers.
Only just.
Well, actually, when I first went to university, Hotmail had just been invented.
Oh, that's nice. So you definitely didn't get distracted by Facebook or MySpace.
No such thing. So you can see here the men's 400 metres. Hum and Foster on the outside. Campbell with the headband.
Yeah, I'd keep an eye on Alberto Campbell. He actually trains with Craig Burns, so I think we could see they train under Anne Rice in the rice cooker. That's what they call their training squad. They're also with Nick Boych, so it's a high jump 400 metre squad there. But there he is, Alberto Campbell with the pink headband. Jamaican heritage actually for Alberto. He's represented Australia at some previous IPC World Championships, so I think he could go out there, and I think he might run at about sub 50. That's what he'd be looking for. Everyone's looking for a sub 50, and I think he has got it in the cards tonight. He should be the one to take line on us. Yes, Wormy.
I'm back, mate. Just had a nice feast, and I'm back in the game.
Oh, missed you, mate.
Yeah, no, that was an absolutely superb dish, and as you mentioned, some of that local Queensland produce really is the icing on the cake, I guess.
Yeah, they do. They treat the officials and the staff well here at Athletics Australia meets. It's always good to taste the dishes from around the nation.
Oh, it is. We've had some Portuguese chicken throughout the tour, some American baguettes. We've really had a lot of stuff.
Parmesanas.
Oh, Italian. I love that.
American baguette. Great white fillet from the Hunter.
So away in this 400 metres, and the one to watch, as Lynchy has mentioned, Campbell looking good. Harding on the outside, but down the back straight, Campbell looking very good early on in the pink headband. Very outlandish move, but he's running well, backing up his performance. And Campbell's going to lead him through the 200 metres. On the outside, Foster's doing well, and Harding's trying to go with him. But no doubt about who's in the lead. It's Campbell, with Siemens on the outside and Foster. Less than 150 metres to go. It is Campbell, and he's going to straighten up in the lead in front of his home crowd in the pink headband in the lead. On the outside of him, though, looks like Num could be a challenger. It's Campbell really starting to tighten up. Down the outside, can Num get there? Campbell and Num head to head. They're going to cross the line. What a finish! 50.95. That's what we love to see. Two men going head to head. That is war. We saw a great battle.
That was a cracking race. Campbell and Nicholas Hum from Victoria. That's Queensland and the Big V going head-to-head. Unfortunately, getting the line on us was Queensland. I guess Vics don't do it better at that point, so I might be able to see if I can have a chat to Alberto. He's blowing pretty hard out there. He's sucking in the big ones, but I might be able to have a chat with him.
Best time to have a chat with a 400 metre Lynchy, as I learnt by interviewing you. Well, not the almost interview with you at the Hunter a few years ago, back in 2011.
Yeah, I didn't get to the mic in 2011. I got there in 2012, but I had to escape for a spew. Too much dried mango before the race.
As you do.
So the boys, after the race, no doubt feeling that lactic pain. And we're edging closer and closer to our men's 400 metre semi-finals. Three of them edging closer to those semi-finals, and some top-class 400 metre runners to go head-to-head.
And we're just going to go down trackside here at the 93rd Australian Athletics Championships with Matt Lynch. He has the man of the moment in the pink headband, Lynchy.
That's right, Alberto Campbell, pink headband, taking out the 400. Talk us through the race. What's the weather out there now? It's been a bit gusty.
Yeah, it was pretty good. I just wish it was a bit cooler, but yeah, pretty good weather so far.
And the pink headband, what do you think? Is that what really got you over the line tonight?
No, I just like being different, to be honest. Yeah.
That's the way. Are you going to be watching Craig Burns? He's a training partner. He'll be out here in a second. How is he in good shape?
Yeah, I reckon he can absolutely smash it out tonight, and hopefully he does well to make it through the final for tomorrow. So just wish him all the best, Craig, and just go for it, man. Make the coach proud.
There you go, make the coach proud. Thank you, Alberto Campbell. Back to you guys in the box.
What a legend down there trackside, Alberto Campbell.
I'm proud of Alberto. We're proud of him.
How good's that though? Just what a legend.
Likes to be different. Good on him.
No, good on him. That's for sure.
Legendary. That's what we like to see. People getting out there, doing things differently, but getting the job done. And he did that out there tonight, and he'll be very happy with his run.
Just a shout out to Michael Redding. Any chance you could please call some of the men's long jump results who qualify for the final? Unfortunately, mate, we don't have that in our hands, but as soon as we do, we'll get it to you. Okay, bud?
We're up here in the commentary box, Mossy. Here we are. This is the engine room. You can see where it all happens. Here's my the feast. All gone. All in my stomach.
If you've ever wondered what it's like, this is what it's like down here. It's how we rock it. It's how we roll it. Plenty of action still to come up here at the 93rd Australian Athletics Championships. Stick around. We've still got the women's 400-metre wheelchair and ambulance. And, of course, that one that will round us out here tonight on Fantastic Friday. It is the men's 400-metre semi-finals. Yes, and welcome back to the 93rd Australian Athletics Championships on Fantastic Friday, Day 2 action. Plenty of action already gone. You can see there the officials doing their business. And we also have the women's 400-metre ambulant final coming up. Girls just making their way out onto the track. As you can see here, such a wonderful stadium. Hosted the Commonwealth Games back in 1982. And who can forget those, for those that are of, I guess, my vintage and beyond? Yeah, Matilda, good old-fashioned Matilda, the mascot for the games, being wheeled around. She's still alive. She's up at the Gold Coast, down at the Gold Coast rather. And we just see a start list now for the women's 400-metre ambulant. Colley, Burt, Maloney, Ionesco, Schweitzer, Isaac, Newcomb, Howell and Papworth. That's the women's 400-metre ambulant event.
Thanks, Mossy. And another one of our finals on the track here. Edging closer and closer to some of the action, which is, I think, what a lot of the crowd here are looking forward to, and that's the men's 400-metre semi-finals. No doubt these girls out here at the moment going head-to-head. We're looking for some personal bests, and some of these girls backing up from running the 800 metres earlier. So, indeed, some good head-to-head battles going, and indeed some girls who will be a bit fatigued from the run earlier of 800 metres, but they're tough. And they're just getting ready on the track as we speak, getting their blocks set up. Some of them are not using blocks. You can opt to use blocks or not, but the athletes going head-to-head in another final. And tomorrow night particularly, Mossy, we've got some great finals tomorrow evening. We've got the men's and women's 100-metre final, men's and women's 400-metre final. We've got the women's 1,500-metre final, the men's 800-metre final. Men's high jumps on tomorrow night, women's javelin throw, men's triple jump. So really looking forward to tomorrow night. That should be a really action-packed session of athletics. And that's what we want to see. Of course, the national championships, the best athletes going head-to-head here and vying to be crowned Australia's undisputed champion of athletics.
And for those out there that would like to watch tomorrow night, 5 p.m. to 7:15 p.m. and Sunday 11:15 to 4 p.m. 4:15 p.m. on Sunday. So not all action covered here. So if you'd like to, just come on down. Why not? So tomorrow night, from 5 o'clock, the live stream on local time Queensland. So 6 on the eastern seaboard, and elsewhere you'll be able to figure that out.
So away in this 400 metres, and from the inside it's Colley, Burt, Maloney, Iwansko, Schletter, Isaac, Newcomb, Howe and Papworth. Down the back straight, Iwanzenko is running well on the inside. It's Maloney and Burt making her way up. Colley with some work to do from lane 1 from New South Wales. So going through the 200 metres, looks like Maloney's running well. On the outside, we've got Newcomb and Howe and Papworth all in contention. Around 250 metres to go, and looks like Schweitzer running well. Isaac on the outside of her, and they're about to straighten up. Isaac straightens up in the lead. The Queenslander in front of her home crowd. On the outside of her, Schweitzer in the lead. Apologies for the wrong call there. Schweitzer looking very impressive, and she's going to hold on for this 400 metres.
Yes, and a nice finish there by Schweitzer out in front. And we'll try to get a hold of the live results when we get the opportunity and tell you who actually won that one via their classifications, just to keep you updated as well. In the men's decathlon, with one event to go, it's the 1,500 metres later on tonight. David Brock from Victoria is in the lead with 7,012 points. Kyle Cranston from New South Wales, 6,904. And Brent Newdick from New Zealand, 6,516. And Cam Crowley from Queensland with 6,334. And as many of those live results, you can go to athletics.com.au to live results. As you can see there, the girls. Customary handshakes at the end of the race.
They're feeling the lactic pain, and no doubt they'll sleep well tonight after a hard hit out, the one-lap event. Some say one of the toughest events. Of course, depends who you ask. The toughest event, I'd say doing a marathon. I can't imagine what it's like running 42 kilometres. The 800 metres is a tough event. And of course, you've got the technical events like pole vault, which is extremely hard in itself. Just being able to pick up that skill, having the strength, the power, the coordination, flexibility.
Okay, we have the results coming through for the men's long jump. So the qualifications have been run and jumped. And in order for the final, we've got Yohei Sugai from Japan with a 780. Henry Frayne, 773. Tomoya Takamasa, 766. Robbie Jug Crowther with a 763. Angus Gould, 761. Darcy Roper, 760. Matt Wyatt from New Zealand with a 749. Nicholas Van Gelder, 743. Jeremy Andrews with a 733. And Christopher Mitreski with a 731. So the ones we thought, Frayne, Crowther, Gould are through. And a couple of Japanese contingent and also a New Zealander making their way through. So
Yeah, great to see all the suspects we expected to get through. But that final's going to be an absolute cracker.
Absolutely. And just a notable omission there, Shemaiah James at the Gary Bourne Stadium. The 7.06. He didn't make it through. So that's your finalist for the long jump, which will be shown across the live stream. Just looking for it in the program as to when the men's long jump is. And there it is. It's on Sunday at 12:20 p.m. and we'll give you as much of the action there as we possibly can as Sunday rounds out this 93rd Australian Athletics Championship. Plenty of action still to come. And on Twitter from Tim Rosen, so proud of my training partner Nick Hum then. Ran a huge BB to almost take line honours in the 400-metre ambulance. So close. And that is fantastic, Nick Hum, and he just gave it absolutely everything, Tim. So you're proud, we're proud. And fantastic stuff there.
Just had the first heat of the men's 400 metres make their way past, and a few very serious and nervous faces there. They know what's ahead. It's a tough gig out here. You've got to back up from yesterday, but you've also got to try and save a little bit in the tank for that final tomorrow evening. And some of these boys are even doing 200, so that could be 5 races in 5 days. Not ideal, but look at the size of this stadium. It's absolutely magnificently built for that 1982 Commonwealth Games. We shouldn't be too far away from that first heat. It should be kicking off around 7:20. 3 semis of the men's. The women's are just going to go straight to a final. They were in their heats yesterday. And that will be the end of the stream for day 2. As we see the lads get out there. And Wormy, I think I see one of your favourite singlets out there in lane 2.
Yes, indeed. We see the Old Melbournians Athletic Club singlet. And, of course, one of my very good mates, Alex Carew, lining up to come out of lane 2. So looking forward to seeing him have a run there in those Old Melbournians colours. Of course, another guy on the outside, Chris Ballew. I think he's another one on the verge of a big breakthrough. Hopefully crack that 47-second barrier. An athlete I thought looked really impressive in the heat yesterday, Sam Baird. He's in the yellow Adidas 3-stripe bodysuit. What other brand would you wear? He's going to be really one to watch. So this is a pretty competitive heat. Clay Watkins as well. He's a sub 46-second runner when on song. So you can see how competitive these semi-finals actually are with the quality we see in the first semi-final here. And we're about to bring you the start list, and you can see some of the other boys coming out for the other semi-finals. But I am looking forward to these semis, and I can't pick the winner in this first semi-final, and I won't try to either because it's an absolute belter.
So here we are, heat 1 of the semi-finals for the men's open 400 metres. Carew from Victoria in lane 2, lane 3 from Victoria Kamuris, lane 4 Sam Baird from Victoria. In lane 5 from New Zealand, it's Daniel Diet. In lane 6, it's Kevin Rasool from Victoria. Lane 7 from South Australia is Clay Watkins. Lane 8 from Victoria is Christopher Ballew. And in lane 9, it's Adam Farlow from the ACT. And just a little bit of information out there in the men's 400-metre wheelchair event. Gold medal went to Reid McCracken. And silver to Jake Lappin, and Matthew Cameron got a bronze medal, everything being adjusted based on their classification. So well done, boys, in the men's 400-metre wheelchair events.
Yeah, great to see those boys out there having a real dig. And these boys in the next 3 semi-finals, they're going to war here. This is an absolute battle of 24 runners looking to book their spot in the Australian final. A lot on the line here. To get in that final, I'm suspecting a low 47-second run. You'd want to be running 46s to be really competitive in that final. And there's plenty of guys who are capable of running that 46 seconds. As we see on the screen there, Chris Ballew, a guy who's had a great season on the tour. Sort of top 4, top 5 in all those meets. Sam Baird just looks so impressive in his heat. Alex Carew won his on song, a 46 six-man. Clay Watkins, a PB of 45.95. So, look, there's a lot of boys to pick here, and Lynchy, the semi-finals after this as well, it doesn't get much easier to pick who's going to win them. I think Lynchy's just tuned out down there, but
oh no, I'm just checking. I'm just involved in the 400, guys. This is. I've been out there over the last few years in this position, and it's very nerve-wracking. I've seen semi-3. That's the one I'm nervous for. Semi-3 has the top 3 ranked Australians in the same heat, so that is quite scary. But I think on form, Watkins and Baird should take the first 2, but hopefully, if I can hear the ground announcer at the moment, hopefully it's first 2, next 3. That's what I'd really like to see. Use all the lanes. There's 9 lanes. Why not use them all?
Yeah, no doubt about that. And hopefully for the final, but lane 1, the John Akibua lane. Also, Kathy Freeman, world champion, Angelo Taylor. And this is going to be an absolute cracking semi-final. The boys lining up. And I really cannot pick the winner out of these guys. All of them have a real chance here.
Watch for Watkins and Baird to come home really strong. Baird especially doesn't mind leaving his run very late.
Yeah, there's a few boys do that. Luke Stevens as well. But in the starters' hands for our first of 3 semi-finals in the 400 metres, this is going to be a cracking battle. Away in this 400 metres from the insides, Carew, Kamaras, Baird, Diet, Rasul, Watkins, Ballew and Farlow. Heading down the back straight, looks like Rasul's made a bit of an impact early on the outside of him. Watkins looking very relaxed, and Ballew setting up on the outside. Farlow from the ACT is running well. On the inside, his way through and gets in the lead of Sam Baird, so he's having a real crack here as they get to the 250 metre mark. Clay Watkins on the outside is looking comfortable. Chris Ballew might straighten up in the lead on the outside as Farlow, so the boys straighten up here. Watkins, Carew on the inside. Watkins gets to the lead on the outside of him. It's Ballew. Sam Baird's coming out of nowhere, but Watkins is going to take out the first semi-final. Sam Baird storms home for second. Rasul will take third. Ballew in fourth. And Diet in fifth. Carew in sixth. And the boys having a great battle in that first semi-final. That's a sign of things to come. And what a battle that was, Mossy.
Wow, Clay Watkins, brilliant stuff. It wasn't Sam Baird, just insane on the inside. It's like he almost just, he didn't even start the race at all. Till 100 metres to go, like he's popped up out of the grandstand, just come into the screen and woof, off he went. Unbelievable stuff.
Yes, sir.
So that was our first of the semi-finals. Matt Lynch is going down to get our winner, Clay Watkins, and he's just about to grab him now, so you can see him there off screen. Of course, nothing like after 400 metres trying to have an interview, but he'll do his absolute best. We do have a trackside now, Matt Lynch with the winner, Clay Watkins.
Thanks, guys. Unofficial 46.91. Just easing off towards the end there, but you had control when you came into the home straight. How was the last 100?
It was quite comfortable, really. I ran a conservative first 2. That's race plan I've been going with this season, and it's worked well. And yeah, I felt a lot of energy coming home, and I was pretty happy to get the win.
As you can see on the screen there, not leading into the last 100, but nice and comfortable. Just kicking off that bend there and really holding on down the home straight.
Yep, yeah. Again, probably the second bend is where I try and set my race up, and I was quite happy with the way I ran that and came onto the home straight, and I think I finished quite well.
Yeah, and saving a little bit of energy for the final tomorrow. It's a big 3 days, so good luck in the final tomorrow, and we'll see you later.
Thanks, mate.
Well done there, Matt Lynch on the sideline. And we have plenty more competitors coming up. And the second of our semi-finals in the men's 400 metres. You can see to the right of screen, we have Craig Burns will be in the next event. So here we go. Robinson, Bowdry, Mulcahy, Luke Grimley, Ian Douglas will be the outside of the dark horse here in this competition. James Kermode, Matthew DeLuca Lawson, and Jaden Barmby. In fact, it's DeLuca Lawson's Matthew, sorry, from Victoria in lane 8.
And that, a bit backwards there, it's Ian Douglas. So they've mixed his name up a little bit, but it's not Douglas Ian. He's got two first names, but this is going to be a good race. Luke Grimley, Kurt Mulcahy, Ian Douglas, James Kermond, they're the main four to look for. Very capable of running. Well, Kurt's got the fastest PB in the entire field. He's run a 45.8, but he's also got a 46.40 this year. Grimley's run around a 47.20. Douglas 46.7. Kermond's got a PB of 46.7 as well. Boudry always making finals, so this is a really tough one to call. I couldn't tell you who's going to make it through to the final in this one, but I think it's going to be a big battle, and it's going to come down to that last 100. These boys like going out hard, so we could see a few lactic legs in that last 30 to 40 metres.
Yeah, Lynchy agreed. It's going to be an absolute cracker. I reckon Ian Douglas is an athlete who's had a great season on the tour, really timing his runs well, and around that 300-metre mark, he'll always be around 5th or 6th and then really time his run to perfection. So he's one that I think is going to make a big impact here. And Kurt Mulcahy, I saw him on a good run in Canberra early on. I think he'll be one to watch. Away in this second semi-final from the inside, Robinson, Boudre, Mulcahy, Grimley, Douglas, Kermond, Lawson, Matthews and Barmby. Down the back straight, looks like Kermond's going to set it up pretty hard on the inside. Mulcahy's making his way shoulder of Grimley. Douglas well positioned in the middle of the field as they go through 200. Looks like Kermond on the outside with Douglas. Mulcahy on the outside of him and Grimley. They seem to be the main players. So Mulcahy makes his way up on the inside and Douglas is well positioned. Kermond, the junior, on the outside. Going to straighten up. Looks like Mulcahy with on the outside of him, Grimley, and Douglas gets to the lead. He looks strong. He's finishing his races so well throughout the season. Ian Douglas looks over his shoulder. He's going to do this very easily, and we'll see the clock tick over, but he takes it out 47.06. Very easy for Ian Douglas. He has had a great season, and hats off to Coach Scott Russell there. Ian Douglas, you beauty.
And Ian Douglas, he's Matty Lynch's outsider for this one. You think he may well be someone to watch in the final. Of course, Craig Burns and Alex Beck will be the ones we would think would be the gold and silver medalists. But, yeah, one to watch there will be Ian Douglas, and a great victory for him in the second semi-final of the 400 metres. You can see him there to the left of stream. Left of stream. Well, of course it is. And, of course, we'll cover action tomorrow from 5:15 p.m. Queensland time of the 93rd Australian Athletics Championship. And plenty of action tomorrow night. Oh, my goodness. High jump men's final. There's finals in the women's jab, men's 8, women's 15. Oh, it just keeps going on. And I tell you what, it keeps rolling on today for Lynchy, who's trackside with the winner of our last semi-final.
Thanks, guys. Ian Douglas taking it out, automatic for the final. How does it feel making the national final?
Yeah, just missed out last year. Finished in our 9th fastest odds, so really good to make through the final. It's been my season goal this year, so stoked to get through, yeah.
And what are your plans for the final? Your goal was to make the final, but now you've made it. You've got to reassess those goals. What are you thinking?
Yeah, well, I'll see how these blokes go in the next semi. Hopefully see how wrecked they are after the race, but I'm just going to go out there, run my own race tactically, do the best I can, hopefully recover up tomorrow pretty good and come out and do the best I can.
Yeah, it's a very tough semi out there at the moment. Stevens, Burns and Beck, so hopefully those guys just wreck each other and you might have a chance to get a medal up there.
Yeah, well, that's the aim. These two boys are my picks to grab the medal, so hopefully if they get tired out enough, I'll be able to sneak up there and push them a bit. So see how we go. It all comes down to who's best on the day, so can't complain.
There you go. Thank you very much, Ian Douglas. Make it through to the final.
Thanks very much, Lynchy trackside there with the winner of heat number 2, or semi-final number 2 of the men's 400 metres. As we turn our attention now to the final semi-final of the 400 metres in the men's category. We've got Burns and Beck there in lane 5 and 6. Well, they are the two red-hot favourites for this title. Horenko, Little, Stevens. Burns in 5, Beck in 6, Gurr in 7, Reiser and McNamara as Lynchy said an absolute stacked field here. Notable omission, I guess, is Steve Solomon. I know, Solo, you'll be watching over there in America, mate. Hopefully you'll run your qualifiers later in the season, mate. Pity we can't have you here, but I saw on Twitter today your support for everyone. This 93rd Australian Athletics Championships, mate. You are a legend.
Boys, this is my race of the night. 100%. Three of the best 400 runners we have in Australia right now, going head-to-head in a semi. I honestly feel sorry for the other boys in this race. Obviously all very, very talented, but tough to go ahead in this very, very quick semi. Beck, Burns and Stevens.
Burns the fastest this season with a 46.03. Beck not far behind him, 46.09.
Stevens one to watch here as well. Looking forward to seeing how Luke Stevens if he can spring an upset here.
And you can't discount Sam Riser on the outside, coming into some very fine form.
You can't discount anyone in this semi-final. It is stacked, and let's see how it unfolds.
Sure.
Away from the inside, Horenko, Little, Stevens, Burns, Beck, Gurr, Riser, McNamara, and down the back straight, Beck and Burns really set it up. And they move down the back straight. Stevens looking very comfortable on the inside of them. Craig Burns, as he normally does, having a real crack. I like the way that Luke Stevens is moving on the outside of Burns. Is Alex Beck, Gurr on the outside, and McNamara with some work to do. Beck and Burns, the ones to move here. Luke Stevens looks like he's jogging. On the inside, it's Little. They're going to straighten up. It's Burns and Beck on the outside in the lead. Burns is in the lead. Beck on the outside of him. Here comes Luke Stevens. He's going to get up on the inside. Burns on the outside. Beck coming. Burns, Beck, Stevens. Head to head. That's 46.86. That's a quick semi-final. Those three look impressive. What a win by the big fella, Craig Burns.
Yeah, Craig Burns just taking out there from Alex Beck. And as you said there, Luke Stevens on the inside. He did look like he was jogging coming around the final bend, but he just launched himself almost Sam Baird-like down in that final 100 metres and did himself well, and he'll put himself in contention there. But no doubt about it, the prime candidate for the gold medal this year at the Australian Athletics Championships will be Craig Burns, and he's just stamped his authority once again, looking to go one better. Last year he got a silver medal, but Beck wasn't too far behind him there either. So that'll be a ding-dong battle. No doubt about it. We've said that Burns is the favourite, but just showing there, Alex Beck not too far away, that's for sure. And trackside, we have the winner of the final semi-final there, Craig Burns with Matt Lynch.
All right, we might have to shoot down a little bit down here. That's all right. I just scrape him off the track. Craig Burns, fastest through to the final. How was that?
I did what I needed to do, so that's all I want to do. Yesterday, I got third in the heats, in my heat, which was good. That's all I wanted to do. So yeah, that run there, just attack the first 200 strong. That's what I always do. And then Alex was on my outside, so just sort of kept it with him and went from there.
Yeah, definitely noticed you really did hit that first 200 real hard. Having a little look around in the home straight, were you holding something back just to make sure you got through?
I got 5 races this weekend, so yeah, I'm holding back.
All right, there you go. So you've really already put yourself into the final for the 200, have you?
Yeah. You kidding? Yeah.
Oh, Nick Boych actually said you're going for the double. Hasn't been done since 1988-89. Darren Clark. Yep. Yeah, the 2-4 double.
When I was just a toddler. So I was born 88, late 88. So, 26 year?
Yeah, exactly. You would have been probably 6 months old.
Yep, that's it.
So Craig Burns is going to try and do the double. I'll let you go and recover.
All right. Thanks, mate.
All right, see you, mate.
Brilliant stuff there. Trackside once again with Matt Muhammad Ali Lynch. You saw there with a great right, left combination. And
more Bruce Lee, I think. I'm a bit lighter on my feet.
Yes, well, we disagree. And 1988, of course, everyone who was around Brisbane, they will remember the World Expo. I was up here at that point in time in my life.
Straight off.
11 years of age. We're just going to have a look at, once again, at... well, let's find out. Is it Bruce Lee or Muhammad Ali?
That's replay, isn't it?
Here we go. Here's Lynch with his traditional sign-off. He actually said goodbye, and here we go. Little finger point twice. 400-metre club. Here it is, and there we go. Boof. Bang. Tell you what.
What a straight left. That was just genius.
That's right. As the sun has completely set the night, the shadows of the stadium here at the Queensland Sport and Athletics Centre.
Mossy,
we are coming to a close here, but don't worry. Tomorrow night, Queensland time, 5:15, we'll be back in action here. Massive, massive night tomorrow night, boys. We've got the 100-metre finals, the 400 metres, the men's 8, women's 15, and the women's pole vault. Unbelievable. Lynchy, what's been your highlight for tonight?
Oh, mate, that last race, the semi-finals of the 400, it's just cutthroat. The men's hundreds, the boys, a bit of foxing out there, going fast as you can, holding a little bit back, but tomorrow night, it's going to live up to Super Saturday for sure.
Absolutely. And for yourself, Ollie?
Yeah, mate, those 400-metre semis tonight really put us in good stead for tomorrow evening, and looking forward to those finals we mentioned. 800 metres events going to be absolute cracker, particularly the 800-metre men's final. Looking forward to that.
Absolutely. For mine, the run of the night was Ryan Gregson in the final heat of the men's 1,500 metres. Will he go once again as our national champion? It has been a while, but I tell you what, we're only going to find out by continuing the live stream here across the whole weekend of the 93rd Australian Athletics Championships. On behalf of myself, Ollie Worm, Matt Lynch, Athletics Australia and the VPA Live crew, it's over and out, and we'll see you then.
See you then, guys. Sleep
Good
well.
night.
Sleep well.